Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to M&C Mornings. I never thought we'd get the show up and running today. There was so many problems, but we're finally here and we're live. Just about a half hour late, but I'll make it up to you guys, I promise. And what's interesting is I have no idea where Mooch is. Somebody get an APB out for the man. He's fallen asleep in a hoagie or a bowl of spaghetti or something because he is gone. And I have not heard from him since last night. So I am legit like 100% no clue where the hell that man is. So I got not one discount Mooch, but two discount Mooches. I got Hellhammer and I got the governor, GKB. How you guys doing?
Good, bro. Glad to be here and help out, man.
Yeah, and as always, we have our producer Jay Williams. And like the funny thing is like the show is different than a lot of other podcasts. So I'm like, okay, you guys got to mute your mic. And I'm sitting there trying to explain to everybody really quick what to do. And I know like the Mooch maniacs are probably like flipping out right now. They're like, "Where's Mooch? Where's Mooch?" But I don't know. Like I legit don't know where Mooch is.
The funny thing is, crap, last night after we all got off community game time, he hopped in and played, so I'm not sure what's going on, man.
Maybe he stayed up a little too late.
Yeah, it could be. Like he could just show up randomly. I don't know.
Just hop in.
Yeah.
He's got no excuses. I had Canadian birthday for an entire week. I've been drinking for an entire week, and look, I'm here in the morning.
And you were listening to Metallica, right? So
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been, kind of a crazy couple days. We had the PSX stuff yesterday. And, the funny thing to me is that a lot of the Xbox fans, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, GKB, you're on Twitter a lot like me. I don't know, Hellhammer, if you're on Twitter as much as I am. But the funny thing is a lot of the Xbox fans are like flipping out over this stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, Microsoft needs to do more than Halo, Gears, and Forza, and Microsoft needs their own show, and Microsoft needs to do this. Like they are like hitting the panic button. And
My thing to that crap is like, what are you talking about? Like they're giving us new IPs, they give us new systems. Like they're doing fantastic things. Come on.
Yeah. I don't see the issue either. I mean, again, I've stated this before, and I even just got done replying a little bit here on there and reading through some stuff. I mean, look, the Xbox is missing a few key genres here or there, whatever, or what I would consider key, but still covers 95% of what I play. And we still have the likes of like Voodoo Vince, the remaster of that coming out.
There's a lot of
IPs that no one's heard of. We have Sea of Thieves. I mean, basically, that's going to be huge, I think.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was I kept seeing this. We need more than Gears, Forza, and Halo. And I'm like, okay, Rise, Sunset
Yeah.
Overdrive,
Have you not
Recore,
seen any of the games coming out?
Quantum Break, Scalebound, Sea of Thieves. I mean, look, it's not my fault if people aren't really flocking to these, but to sit there and go, or another thing is 343 needs to make something besides Halo, and Coalition needs to make something besides Gears. That would mean that we wouldn't have Halo or Gears. I mean, and nobody's buying the other stuff, so it would be a waste of time and a waste of money because we're already getting new IPs and people just don't seem to be supporting it. So a lot of these kind of are like remind me of fair weather fans where they're just like, oh my god, people are praising the Sony conference, which fair enough. If you liked it, you liked it. Personally, I thought that it was, I think there's a bit of a double standard because people are like, no Forza, Gears, and Halo. But then on the other hand, Sony can announce another Uncharted, even though it's a standalone or whatever, another Last of Us, and they can announce another Gran Turismo and show, and then people are quiet as a mouse. You know what I mean? So I think
what's essentially is that Uncharted game is essentially, from what I've seen, anyways, it's like the Gears Judgment of Uncharted.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good comparison, right? Because look, I'm not sure. Like, I have the season pass to Uncharted. Is this included? They didn't say so. Is this? They're saying that's a standalone type game, quote unquote. So, do you have to buy it? Is it going to be $60? They're saying it's going to be about 6 hours long. I don't really know. It could be like an ODST type deal. I'm not 100% sure, but if that is the case, and this is just another Uncharted game, then isn't that a little bit of milking too? How come nobody's actually commenting about this?
Yeah, I agree too, man. Like, and here's the thing too, is like, PlayStation, they got games on their console. I'm not saying they don't have games, but their first party is really lackluster. They're not putting out their big hitters like, God of War and all that kind of stuff's coming out. I mean, it's coming. Horizon Zero Dawn's next year, but like Microsoft is continuing to put out new IPs, their big first party like franchises and all that stuff out. Like, really, no Xbox guys should be complaining or throwing their arms up in air or anything like that right now. Like, it was a good show for PlayStation. That's fine, fantastic. They showed The Last of Us that'll be out in a couple of years, but really, calm down, guys.
Yeah. I mean, in a couple of years, again, with The Last of Us, I mean, I wasn't personally a fan. I know a lot of people who are. But again, that might not even be a PlayStation 4 title. It might be a cross-gen title at that. I mean, you got 3 or 4 years. I mean, of dev time, if they just now announced it.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a large AAA game like that, I mean, that might very well be a PlayStation 5 or whatever comes out next.
And the irony isn't lost on me that games like Death Stranding and The Last of Us 2 are just these cinematic hype trailers that Microsoft would absolutely get slaughtered for doing. If Microsoft were to have something like that, they would get slaughtered. People would be like, why aren't they showing gameplay? This is misleading. But when Sony does it, it's not. And so many people, like, even though Mooch isn't here in body, he is in spirit, because I'm going to take his line, and I've been saying it for 2 days now. Stop giving Sony credit when they haven't done anything, right? What is there to be jealous of? If you're an Xbox guy right now, look at yourself in the mirror and say, what is there to be jealous of? Because all that stuff that Sony showed, a lot of it is multiplats. Like, we're getting Marvel versus Capcom. I'm not sure about the Ni no Kuni thing, but it looks like even that Hellblade game now is confirmed to be coming to Xbox. You know what I mean? So what is there that's coming out in the next 6 months to a year on that side that has you jealous or has you flipped out to where you're freaking out? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are well, why is crap? Why are you this way, or why do people listen to crap? Well, here's why. Because I'm not, like, even though I speak my mind about stuff when it comes to Xbox, I don't sit there and like jump ship as soon as something like this comes up, or like Sony does something impressive, and then I'm not going to go, oh well, screw Microsoft. It's all about Sony. Microsoft needs to start copying Sony. Bullshit. Microsoft has been dominating in the things that I can actually do and play and enjoy right now, and I think that is the most important thing. And Sony, they just did what they always do: show off the smoke and mirrors and the stuff that's years away. And the Xbox guys are falling for it. Like, seriously, how the hell are you guys falling for this nonsense? Absolutely unbelievable. But Jay, I know we got some voicemails. We got a lot of them this week, so we're going to kick one off, right? Right, Jay?
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, one moment. I was just taking a call, but yes, we do have a lot of voicemails. I'm going to play one here from Xbox Trigger.
Yeah.
Mooch, hi, crap. This is Xbox Trigger. And what's up, Jay? My question today is, everybody keeps talking about the MPD this, Black Friday this, Cyber Monday that, eBay. I just want to know, even if Xbox wins or PlayStation wins, how do you think the Sony fans will react? How would you react if Xbox wins, or how would you react if PlayStation wins? I think it'd be funny either way. So thank you guys. Bye.
All right. Well, good question, Trigger. I think that obviously, if Microsoft wins, there's going to be there's going to be complete meltdowns on places like NeoGAF and N4G. And I think if PlayStation wins, I'm going to be flooded with a lot of tweets. You know what I mean?
It'll just be "I told you so." If PlayStation wins, it'll be the same thing that we hear every time that they win something. Oh yeah, Sony's great.
Yeah.
This and that. I mean, but the fact of the matter is that basically a lot of people we're starting to see through the whole smoke and mirror system with Sony. They're starting to purchase Xboxes and that sort of thing because there's a lot of games out on it. I mean, look, if you want to play a racing game, where are you going to go to play it? It's on a console.
Yeah, I agree.
One answer really. It's Forza. If you want to play anything competitive, it's always on Xbox.
His question was for MPDs, right? He kind of put it out on me. I mean, I think if Xbox wins, which I think they're gonna win. Like me, everybody knows I don't really care about sales unless it's for the games and stuff like that. But we go back to like the whole Twitter thing, and everybody like Xbox done and this, that, and the other. Like, if Xbox wins, that's a good thing. Like, they're giving PlayStation competition. That's good for all the gamers. Like, so either or. Like, I like the whole like they're getting really close and they're going back and forth on NPDs and stuff like that because it's gonna work out for gamers in the end. Like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, competition always drives creativity too, right? So, I mean, obviously, if we start seeing, higher numbers of sales for a certain type of game that's on, Xbox or PlayStation, and the other one doesn't have one that matches it, you're going to see the other console take heed of that and actually start working on games that people are interested in. So, if there's, a platforming game on PlayStation 4, then you might see Xbox start working on that if that's what starts selling the consoles.
And you see that with Sony like right now because they're showing games like really early, but they are working on those fan favorites and stuff for the Sony fans and stuff, and that's good to see. And I think a lot of that is because Microsoft is putting out a lot of new IPs and their first party stuff, so they're looking at that and being like, crap, man, we got to get back on board. We got to get this stuff going again.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, okay. Well, that if you guys are new to the show, that means we got a call. So welcome to MNC Mornings. How can we help you? What's up?
What's up, fellas? Good morning. This is Dirk Griggity here, as usual. First off, I just want to say I agree with everything that you gentlemen are saying this morning. I've been an Xbox fan since 2003. Everybody was a big PlayStation fan in the 90s. I'm 40 years old, so I like lived through all of the console wars. And in 2003, the Xbox grabbed me. I've been a big fan ever since. Don't hate the PlayStation. The Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time. But what you guys said, Xbox fans, please calm down. Calm down, man. They had a pretty decent show. I'm going to be honest. They had a pretty decent show. But hell, even kind of funny guys said that damn Last of Us 2 is not coming out at the earliest until 2019, man. I mean, look, calm down. And I'm going to say this because I know you guys aren't going to say this. But there's guys, I love Zaire, man, but he just constantly just gets he irritates me so bad because no, Microsoft needs this, they need to do that. Come on, man, calm down. It's okay, man. They have like released new IPs this generation. All of them haven't really done well, but come on, man. They have games coming next year. It's going to be okay, fellas. It's going to be okay. I mean, I love The Last of Us, and I'm going to get it when it comes out. But I'm also going to get Sea of Thieves and Scalebound and those games Xbox has coming out. So calm down, everybody. All right. Peace and love.
All right, man. That's Diggity, long time call in. He calls in every week. Happy to have him part of the group there, and he makes a great point. Look, he likes The Last of Us. GKB, you liked it. I'll probably get the next one too, like 2019. Okay, like great. Like we've settled that. The Last of Us 2 will be great. People will fawn all over it. All that good stuff. But at the end of the day, that doesn't do me a hill of beans right now. You know what I mean? There's nothing in the immediate 6 months to a year on that side that really has me interested outside of Horizon Zero Dawn. Which, again, I have that pre-ordered. Great. Because that would mean that I've gone exactly a year pretty much in between AAA exclusives on the PlayStation 4 platform. It went Uncharted 4. And yes, I bought some stuff in the middle, like little stuff if it was on sale or whatever. But I'm talking like big AAA exclusives. So it would basically go from Uncharted 4 to Horizon Zero Dawn. That's a year. And the thing is, it went from the Order 1886 all the way to, which was 1 year, all the way to the next year with Uncharted 4 in between AAA releases. So for me, that's unacceptable as a gamer, and it should be for everybody else as well. And Diggity makes a great point. just calm down. Like Xbox guys, quit being like Monday morning quarterbacks. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're gonna have ups and downs throughout this, and this happens every generation too. I mean, everybody's gonna have some pros and cons and that sort of thing, and people are just getting way up in arms over one show. That a lot of the games aren't coming out for at least 2 years.
Yeah,
I mean, so at that point in time, we don't even know half the stuff. I mean, Microsoft's probably working on stuff right now that they haven't even announced yet. Obviously,
they said they were. They're working on stuff we don't know about. They've done a good job of mixing old and new. They're bringing stuff back like the Voodoo Vince remaster. If people buy that, then I could see them greenlighting a sequel. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand that these things are kind of a test a lot of the time. And, they just, oh, well, we're not really interested or whatever. And people don't buy the stuff. Then how are you going to know? But look, Rare Replay did very well for them. And so there is that nostalgia factor. But I think it's a business as well. Like, people are like, Microsoft needs to give us this, this, and this. And I'm like, if nobody supported this, this, and this, what incentive is there for Microsoft to invest in that? Like Rise. I liked Rise. Most people I know really liked Rise that actually played it.
Great.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game.
But at the same time, it didn't sell that well. It got tore up by the critics, and you knew that was going to happen because the critics hated that from E3, and so you knew that it was going to get eviscerated by the critics. But the fans loved the game. It was an expensive game to make. Crytek's games always are expensive. They look great. So Microsoft's thinking, okay, the media hated this game. It didn't sell well. Some of the hardcore fans really want a sequel, but is it really worth it? I don't know. I think that's one of those situations where I don't know. Microsoft doesn't own the IP, so it's a bit of a rough spot. And I also wanted to remind everybody to hit the like button if you're watching, because it helps out the channel and it helps the podcast out greatly. And I also wanted to remind everybody that we are available on iTunes. You can search up MNC Mornings, and I was told that we're in the top 50 for podcasts on there, so that's pretty damn impressive. So make sure you guys, So make sure you guys.
I wanted to interrupt you guys. We have a live satellite feed coming in.
Okay.
And a very special message if you guys want to take this call.
Yeah, let's take it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me. Good morning. What's going on? Who's crap? For those of you that don't know me, I am Too Much Heat, coming live at you from the set of the Game Buffet here in the great state of Florida, where you can now legally smoke weed and be real passionate about your food. There's nothing more that I love to do on a Sunday than to tune into your show, pop open a cold one, and just enjoy. And for those of you wondering, isn't it a little early for you to have a beer? I say it's none of your damn business. So I wanted to swing by and ask the two of you, what do you think about this whole Phil Spencer and wanting to get Super Mario onto the Xbox? I know it's just a wish of his and it's not actually going to happen. But if this happens, just like we seen that happen with Sega and Sonic going to Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, like, what are your feelings about that? Are you excited for that? Do you think there's a real need for something like Super Mario and their IPs on the Xbox console? Let me know what you think. I'm interested in hearing. Anyways, guys, I think it's great what you do. Keep up the good work, and I'm going to enjoy the show. Take it easy.
Don't think I didn't catch the the Kaz Harai there. That was actually pretty cool, man. That was Too Much Food. Shout out to him. Adjusted the audio a little bit there, so it did get louder there towards the end. But yeah, that's
the technology. The technology is amazing. What we can do these days on a podcast.
Yes, like we're like all over the place, man. It's like it's so good. Mooch don't know what he's missing, man. He's like, I don't know. He doesn't know what he's missing. But yeah, food. So to answer your question, I would love to see Mario be allowed to do something, but I don't want Nintendo consoles to go away. I like that Nintendo has their own dedicated hardware and they have the games to pull that off. I don't want them to pull a Sega. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if, say, they allowed Mario in Minecraft. That makes sense to me. I wouldn't mind if they allowed Donkey Kong to be put on the Xbox platform or some back and forth. A little known fact is that Microsoft actually allowed Rare, after they were owned by Microsoft, to do a Viva Pinata game for the what was that? The
DS.
Yeah, the DS, or was it the Game Boy Advance? It might have been the Game Boy.
No, it was the DS.
Was it the DS?
I own a copy. So.
Oh, okay. So they actually let that because they don't look at a a handheld as a competition to them, so they allowed that to happen. What about you, GKB? Just your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big like Super Mario fan. I would love to see Mario. I mean, just from a gamer's perspective on the Xbox, but I much like you. I don't want Nintendo to go away. But I mean, there's a lot of talk of like if the Switch, doesn't do well, is Nintendo going to get out of the console business at that point and just do maybe third party or just develop games? That's an interesting thought for them, and as well as like the Japan culture, they're moving way towards mobile, and they've been doing that for a while now. So they're more of the phones and all that kind of stuff. So consoles really don't, do well in that country right now. It's everybody else that's consuming all the consoles, but it's an interesting prospect. I think Nintendo at some point is definitely probably even now having conversations like that. I mean, who knows? I would like to see it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, my personal opinion is I think that while it would be cool to see that on the Xbox again, Nintendo does their own thing and they always do it well. I don't think that they would have that magic touch that they have with developing games for a different with a different piece of hardware that wasn't branded by them.
What do you think? Like, what if Phil like went to Nintendo and was like, "Hey, would you guys mind doing a game for us?"
Hello, how can we help you? M&C Mornings.
Oh,
Nope, nobody's there, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
There we go.
Crap, I mean, no Moose, so I can't say Moose, Hell, Hammer, and GKB. I just want to say, man, look, man, about that facing experience, Xbox fans need to just calm down. We got games coming, we got the best online service. Nothing can compare to that. And, just keep calm, man. Keep calm and play Xbox. That's all I'm saying. Don't worry about no remastered of a remastered. And one more thing, man, them games ain't gonna come out no time soon. We might be PS6 before we see those games. Just saying. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for the code last week for Dishonored. I actually rewrapped it and gave it to my girlfriend as a early Christmas gift. So, anyways, guys, have a good one.
All right,
awesome.
He re-gifted Dishonored the Definitive Edition. Like, Merry Christmas.
I don't know if I would have said that on a podcast out loud.
Yeah.
Like, hey, happy birthday. Yeah, but everybody relax. Xbox is doing fine. You know what I mean?
Look, I mean, again, Microsoft isn't going to go anywhere. Microsoft is a giant company. They have more money than Sony has, across all their divisions.
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
that's the thing. I mean, it's not an issue. Microsoft is they're clearing a profit. They're making games. I mean, as it sits right now, I already have so many games in my backlog that even if games were releasing, tomorrow, and I went out and bought a PS4, when would I have a chance to go play it?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's absolutely been insane, some of the reactions that I've been seeing, and that's weird to me. I don't know. Like, it's not like Microsoft has been quiet. They've been talking all kinds of stuff. A good example of this was, they were real quiet about Crackdown for a long time. I came out and said, hey, is this game even still coming? People flipped out, started messaging Phil, and Phil's like, yeah, I just saw a build of it. It's coming along great. So in my own way, I did some investigative journalism. And then we found out yesterday during their live, they did that charity live stream, the Crackdown team, and they broke some megatons. They said Crackdown 3 is on tap to be a holiday 2017 Scorpio launch game, and that it's going to be native 4K on Scorpio. Boom, megatons right there. Like, seriously, calm down, people. This is going to be a game that's going to utilize cloud computing. Mm-hmm. It's going to give us a lot to brag about in terms of people that used to make fun of, the cloud and all this kind of stuff, right? So we have that stuff to really look forward to. And I think that people it's always looks like there's stuff on the other side that's greener, and when you look at the reality, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not. Like, Sony is really good at hyping up stuff and looking good, but when it comes to actually achieving what they show off, I don't know if that's exactly something that they're good at. They promise a lot and they don't deliver a lot. So that's just my opinion.
I mean, you're also talking about the company that hyped up Haze as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jay, do we have another voicemail we can go to? Because I know we've got Awesome. Oh, hold on. Hold
Hey,
on.
I found the guys. I found the M in M&C.
There he is.
oh my God, Mooch has finally appeared.
Yeah,
Hold
guys,
on.
it's been man, it has been a wild Sunday, so I apologize. It's not been a typical weekend. But yeah, I'm here, and where are you guys? What's happening? What's going on? This
man,
I do have a size. I have a cup of coffee in front of me that I can actually sit in. So,
Well, you know what? Like, here's the thing. Here's basically what happened, which I'll catch you up. I made the room.
yes,
It was 25 minutes early. Right? I was like, man, we got plenty of time.
yeah,
Mooch,
we're
Mooch
good.
hasn't come in yet. I invite Jay in. Jay's like, the software's not working. Then he couldn't hear us. Then we're like at time to go live, and he's like, I gotta reinstall some software. Right? He's like, I'll be back. So he's gone. You're nowhere to be found. I'm DMing She-Wolf, GKB, no response. We're 10 minutes late. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to go roust Hellhammer and see. I'm like, Hellhammer. I'm like, dude, Mooch, nowhere to be found. Aliens got him or something. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, we gotta use you. And then finally, GKB and She-Wolf got back to me, and I was like, all right, well.
Well, I secretly didn't tell you crap. I just got back from California. I was the stage producer for PSX.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
You're the reason.
I just got in here. I've got a bunch of lanyards I'm going to be sending out to the Xbox community.
Yeah, you're the reason it was such a great show. Hey, we got a phone call. It's
We
been
got a call.
busy though.
Well, hey, we can definitely run the show a little longer if you got time, crap.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to have Hellhammer and GKB here because we don't usually do guests, so it's a
Absolutely.
good dynamic.
And thank you guys for stepping in my absence. It's like I said, it's been an absolutely wild weekend. So I am refreshed, though. The good news is, crap, I am refreshed because Mooch may be late, but better me be late and refreshed than if I woke up early. I had just had a wild weekend. We'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll get into it during the show. But
I think we got a call. M&C Mornings. What's up?
Give us a call.
Hey, it's John Thomas, the gamer. We talk over Twitter, and I just want to say, what do you think of the new Zelda? And I'm starting a Halo 5 game time today.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Nice.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Look, the first part of his question is legit. Let's just put it this way. That Zelda game, listen, I know a lot of people were tweeting out, oh, this is whatever. It looks like it's still cloudy. It's muddy. I don't know. Nostalgia gets me every time with this. When it's a Nintendo product like that, does it really matter, crap?
No.
I mean, I thought it was all right. I thought the game was still going to do its due diligence, right?
You know what, Mooch? Like, Hellhammer noticed this right away because we were watching it, and he goes, it looks like they captured that thing with the potato. Like, the capture.
Yes.
Whatever they used wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't, like, Nintendo being a big company like that, and this is obviously, pre-recorded and that sort of thing.
Right.
I don't know why the hell they didn't bother to check that the way that the lighting levels and the contrast and then saturation on that, because it looked awful.
Right.
But again, I mean, I'm going to leave that up to the cap problems because we've seen prior builds that looked great.
Yeah. And GKB, like, you're a Zelda fan too.
Yeah, man.
So, and you were like to me, like, everybody was focusing on the graphics, and I'm like, this is the generation where we get so many indies that look horrible and people praise them. The gameplay looked phenomenal.
Yeah, gameplay is king for me, man. And I thought it was like phenomenal too. When we were watching it, it was like that first guy that was playing, I was just like, this dude's terrible, man. Get that other guy. And then he started playing. And it got a little bit better when what they were showing off and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, even in the other videos and stuff that we've seen before, like all the new gameplay mechanics that's going to be in there, it's got more of like an RPG style stuff. So, and it's really open world and stuff like that. So I'm on board for sure. I'm kind of. Yeah. It's not going to be a launch title for the Switch, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know how that's going to go, but
yeah. So I don't know, but we do have a good voicemail from a friend of the show. So Jay, why don't you go ahead and rack that up for us?
Hey, MC Mornings, it's Matty Beast. It's December 1st. It's the day of the VGAs. That'll be going on tonight. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to watch. It's always just so great to have a night that's kind of dedicated to gaming and the hobby that we all enjoy. We just wrapped up Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I am interested to know what your guys' thoughts are for MPD this for November. Do you think the X-Bone has a chance of taking it?
You motherfucker.
I really kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on things moving forward. You know, December, January. What happens next? Does the X-Bone continue to win PDs, or does it kind of go back and forth? What are you guys' thoughts as we move into the early parts, the first quarter of next year? What's going to happen? And also, I never shout myself out. I hate doing it, but it's December 4th on the show, and tomorrow, December 5th, is Matty B's birthday. So,
wow.
I don't celebrate them anymore. I'm getting so stinking old, but I really enjoy the show and just anxious to get your guys' thoughts and keep up the good work. We'll talk to you next week.
Awesome. Well, first of all, happy birthday, Matty Beast. Big time supporter of not only this show, but all the Xbox shows. Yeah. Like,
yeah, I see him posting around on Twitter all the time. So, I mean, yeah, happy birthday.
Well, before we get into too many happy birthdays, as he was giving that little message, the half and half of my fucking coffee curdled. You know what? I cannot say the X-Bone. No, Matty was definitely making a point.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Listen, it's hard to sit here probably the Thursday before we get into NPDs and start to say that, like, Xbox definitely locked it up. I've been saying this for a while. If you go back 3 months ago, November was dedicated to PlayStation winning. So even if Xbox comes 30, 40, 50, heck, even 100,000 units, because when you're talking November, you're talking about millions in sales, right? Crap. To be 100,000, even when they have 3 pieces of hardware to compare with Microsoft's one that came out in August. I still think I consider that a victory. You say you win the battle but lose the war. So in this case, I think Xbox still has a chance to do it. I still think you have a chance to break out that mayonnaise.
Yeah.
But
come on, Foxfire. Come on.
Come on, Fox. We're talking to you, Fox.
Yeah.
We're talking to you. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
Hey, I'll go last. Hellhammer, what do you think about Xbox and the MPD?
I think it's too early to call it. I would like to see a win, but again, the hardware sales numbers don't really matter to me. It's the game sales. Just same with GKB. If you don't get the game sales out there, then you don't get your your sequels and that sort of thing, and you don't get people trying to put out new IPs. So I think that's the bigger deal. But I mean, again, it would be funny to see them win though, and see everybody freak out on the other side.
Yeah, I want to see the world burn. Go ahead, GKB.
I mean, there's a couple factors, right? Like, to Mooch's point, like he was talking about, like all the hardware that Sony has, and I think that's a tough spot for Sony fans to be in. Like, where are they going to spend their money on? Are they going to get the Pro? Are they going to get the PSVR, the Slim, like whatever? But also other factors. You have like month after month now that Xbox is winning NPDs, and a lot of that has to go with the whole rebranding. The Xbox One S, the Scorpio news, and all that kind of stuff. I think people are really on board with that. And the other part is like to drive console sales and all that stuff and any hardware at that point is like you need games and stuff to play on. And right now, I'm not saying PlayStation doesn't have games, but a lot of it's like third party. And when you're a PlayStation fan, you're definitely looking for, those first party exclusives and all that kind of stuff that they're really not having much this holiday season. So for me, I think, there's a really good chance that Xbox pulls November out and probably December. Moving on to, next year, to answer the other part of Maddie's question, I think they're going to ride this momentum, and even if they lose December and November, like Microsoft next year has like great things coming. Like they have Scorpio, they're ramping up for all that stuff at E3. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like I'm not even worried about it, honestly.
Yeah, like for me, I want that mayonnaise party to happen. I want,
I want,
hell yeah, dude. Exactly. Well, I heard last night during game time that you guys are going to blow up the picture that Jay made, and that's going to be on your guys' wall. That Rhino looks like he's having a lot of fun. Jay, you did a great job with that graphic. He sent me that in a DM, and I spit out my drink. I was like, holy crap, that is amazing. He did a fantastic job with that, and it really captures the moment, in my opinion. I mean, I would be happy.
Captures the moment.
Yeah. Hey, Hellhammer, you're aware of the whole mayonnaise thing with Grave, right? Remember, he was the one that kind of came up with that.
Yeah.
He's always like, yeah, crap gamer rubbing mayonnaise on fat chicks or whatever. So just to be fair, I prefer the word thick chicks, not fat chicks. I'm just saying, that's not me. That was Grave. So
Yeah, Crap didn't make up the term. He's just using it.
Yes, I'm just using it. So yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey,
we got another comment.
While he's patching this in, Crap, how many voicemails did you go through?
We've gone through about 3, I think.
Oh, great. There's a lot left. Holy crap.
There's only like 20 left. So
okay.
MNC Mornings, how you doing? Yeah, cool.
Yes. That is
Awesome.
correct.
Yeah. MNC Mornings.
Okay. Hey, hello guys. This is John. I'm calling you guys. I got these gear codes I got for you. I want to give it to you. If you guys are interested, let me know. Listen, I have one question. I have 2 questions actually. It's gonna go. The first question is gonna go a little bit off topic. I just want to know about this guy. I know you guys don't want to spoil any names or anything like that, but I got these guys. I don't like him. I just want to know what you guys think about him. I'm gonna give you a hint. If you guys don't know, that's okay. You don't have to say anything. But his channel begins with 1 and ends with killer. I want to know what you guys think about that guy. Let me know. The second question is, what do you guys? What you guys thought about this coming Scorpio? Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, well, first you get the money, then you get the women, then you get the guns. Hey, I don't know, man. Look, everybody on YouTube cuts their own deal. Everybody's got a gimmick. I think I'm smart enough to realize that people use these gimmicks. If somebody's gimmick is making fun of other people and they get views off that, good for them. I don't personally care. I don't watch these people. I don't really invest in any of these people. Nobody's ever come to me and said anything about one thing or the other.
Except for that award show you were on.
I was never on any goddamn award show, and you know it. Yeah, so everybody, like I said, everybody cuts their own deal. That I can't be bothered with what everybody else is doing, because then I would take my mind off and my what I like to do with my own channel. Like I do my own channel and I have my own ideas, and and I do it in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, look, I've made a lot. I make a lot of bold things. I am the Howard Stern of this shit, right? I am the Skip Bayless of this shit. Now, when Microsoft wins the MPD in November, I'm going to celebrate like no other. If they lose, people are going to want to shove that shit up. Either way, I win. You know what I mean? Like, and people can take that to the bank, and that's the way I look at it. As for Scorpio, that is going to be the game changer next year. People are going to buy this thing. People are hyping up when a little indie gets 4K on the Pro. Imagine when games like Crackdown 3, which now is confirmed to be 4K at launch next year. Imagine when that, or Forza 7 are 4K native. You know what I mean? I think that those are what's really going to show off what this thing's all about, and they're doing it right, no half-ass measures. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, the Scorpio isn't going to be stuck with a slightly overclocked 3 generations ago processor as well. So you'll actually be able to see the difference and actually be able to run things at full 4K without having that bottleneck there.
Yeah,
exactly. That simple.
As far as like, people like making videos about other people and stuff, I find that kind of weird, and I just don't know where they get the time from. Like I have a full-time job. I do YouTube. I do podcasts all the week. I just have too much other things to even worry about than, people just making weird videos about other people.
Oh no, you're busy making weird videos about people. That's all. I mean, come on.
Mooch, I know you've got something to say on that.
I personally, I think you guys answered the first part well enough. I'm not gonna give that part of the question any more time. But what I'm going to say about Scorpio is Scorpio will be a game changer. Microsoft's holding a bit of their cards up to their chest still on exact specs, on exact components. They're well aware that their opponent, in this case Sony, is one of the most devious, scoundrel companies on the earth. And because of that, they're probably not saying too much, but Scorpio will be a game changer. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And Hellheimer, and I pointed this out. I did a video about it. The Zen CPU is getting shown off on the 10th. And
the 13th. actually.
The 13th. Okay, so
that'll be AMD's show. I mean, it'll be a lot of PC stuff, but I mean, I urge people, if you want to watch something, that'll be something that if you're an Xbox fan or you're looking forward to the Scorpio, I'm fairly certain there'll probably be something in there somewhere detailing out their roadmap and their plans with their third parties and who they're working with. I mean, it's basically for investors.
I want to get you guys' perspective on this because I go back and forth with the whole Scorpio thing. And my thing is, like, when we see new generations, they see them making games for, the older generation and not really, putting all the effort into the new generation. So we get a mix mash of gameplay and, lackluster resolution if you're into that kind of stuff and everything like that. Now we know the games are going to be built for, the original Xbox One and the PS4s, and you already see the stuff like happening right now with, the PS4 Pro, where there really is no difference between the base game and the new game or the update. So I think there's still like a lot of questions that are unanswered, and it's going to have a shit ton of power, and with UWP, I get the whole scaling thing and all that and stuff like that. But, I want bigger, better games, better textures, ultra settings and all that kind of stuff. And I think the Scorpio can deliver that. But how are they going to do that with still building games for like the original Xbox One?
Well, the UWP stuff scales it supposedly. I think that's going to be a big selling point.
Yeah, DX12 does a big point at scaling as well.
But
I'm just saying, like, we haven't seen any of that stuff yet.
Yeah.
So, how's that going to work?
Mean, I think the problem that Sony has right now with the way some of their stuff is going is that a lot of these games are third-party games. They're getting some patches and that sort of thing, and it's kind of like they're doing it after the fact. That's part of the problem, right? Like, that's after the fact. So we haven't actually seen a game on the Pro yet that was made after that came out that's going to support it.
I apologize, Hellhammer, to chime in because I only caught half of what you said, but I think what you said is very important. We haven't even seen what this quote unquote power is of this new console. The problem I have is I stayed clear of Twitter yesterday completely because, first of all, PSX is the same thing as if you're a video game fan, if you went to the mall and actually sat on that guy who's paid to look like Santa Claus, and you sat on his lap and you're like, what I'd really like? I'd really like The Last of Us 2, and I'd like a Nathan Drake, like just a new game that takes it in another direction. And it's like, Santa's like, oh, whatever you want, gamer, get off my lap. So PSX is a lot of like wishful thinking and things that are going to come in the future. Any kids that ever, ask their parents for something and they go later, you'll get it later. So that's PSX. So who really cares? It was a lot of wishful thinking, and we'll see you in 2019, 2020.
Hey, Mooch, can I get this from you? Stop giving Sony credit, right? I've been saying that all morning.
Yeah, we just have to stop giving them credit. The other thing is, though, to get back to Hellhammer's point, we currently have a PS4 Pro in many people's homes right now where they're all scratching their heads like, why do I have this? And you have the Jeff Keighley's of the world and a few other people in the gaming world that are like, well, this new game will be coming to you in 4K. Never do they mention 60 frames per second. Never do they make, you know what I'm saying? Never do they mention if it's going to be checkerboard or not.
And that's part of the problem with the Pro too, is that the CPU isn't enough to keep that frame rate steady at 4K.
It's just not.
Okay, stop, done. That's it. There's no arguing that. It's like putting in a fucking 980 Ti or 1080 or a Titan with a little crappy AMD processor.
Yeah,
right.
You're not going to do anything with it.
Hey, I know we got a voicemail from Def Jam Bam, and I gotta say, I muted him last night for a little bit because that sound bar.
He did it. Well, see, you guys missed, and I apologize. Last night, like I said, it's just been a wild weekend, but I ended up playing with a bunch of people from game night, but I didn't get on till almost 12:30, 1 o'clock. But yeah, the Bam soundbar definitely was.
I thought I was up in the club, man. I was like, wow.
Well, what do they call it in Seattle? The 12th player is actually the people in the stands.
12th man.
Yeah, the 12th man. So in our case, how many people are allowed in Xbox Live party chat?
Well, supposedly 16.
So his soundbar is going to be known as the 17th man.
Yeah, but technically, I think that the Xbox Live starts messing up after about 10.
This is true, but 17th man sounds better than 11th man.
Oh, absolutely, 100% agree.
Bam's soundbar now has a personal invite to game night.
Absolutely.
Yes, it has to be there.
Jay, so what do we got from Def Jam?
What's good, Mooch and Crap? Graphic God, a.k.a. J Dubs. I hope you enjoyed your birthday weekend. Also, had a question for all of y'all. If there were 3 features on the Xbox that you can have right now, what would they be? And also, from here on out, just remember, everything is on track. Pros is on track. Limbs is on track. Even Pallets is on track. And KI Mortal Kombat, we definitely got to get that in, all of us. And Division 2. Just want to throw that out there. I'm going to go around after this.
Well,
That was great.
Def Jam Bam, he's always got to get those little zingers in. He's like, yeah, it's on track. This on track. Yeah. You want to take that, Mooch? Because you guys get it all
I
the
was
time.
just writing down some of the options. What did he say? Three?
He said, yeah, three things.
Well, my first one would be my first wish would be that we had a button that anyone that is playing Division would just be completely erased from my friends list. Number two, I wish I could mute my headphones and all friends sound bars. And number 3 would be to get how do I get my Mooch character on MNC Mornings to be an HDR like Bam's during podcasts? No, Bam's awesome, dude. Bam is probably one of the most fun dudes to jam with at night. Me and him were laughing so hard last night. That's probably hence part of the reason I was late to MNC Mornings. It got a little rowdy in the old late evening game community game night. But long story longer, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, it kind of seems like we had this huge list, right? Crap, way back when the console came out. We made this huge want list, and Mike Ibarra and his team have been picking away at it for what, like 18 months, maybe 24 months. So, I mean, to say, I guess the only thing I wanted, and I hate to say this because it's rumored to be coming, is I really, really wanted picture-in-picture. I wanted Snap to become more customizable, if you will, not where I lose a quarter of my screen. Maybe make more options in the guide. So when you double click your X, your X icon, when the guide comes up, more options there that you can customize. I know there's some you can customize, but everything in there, whether it be more about the headset volume, the sound between your snapped item and your actual large screen item, things like that, just a little bit more customization. But other than that crap, I hate to be boring. I'm sure you guys have a little bit more on the wish list. I don't have much in that category. I think Mike's team's doing a hell of a job.
I don't have a lot either, man. Like, honestly, I'm looking forward to, like, the Beam streaming app coming to the Xbox, the arena stuff, like, so we can start doing like bracket fighter games and all that kind of stuff. Like, and to Mooch's point, yeah, they're knocking away all the stuff that we've been asking for. And honestly, I think, the features coming up that we don't know about is probably the cool thing. Like, they might, just wow us with a bunch of stuff. So the future's bright for Xbox, guys. So just keep doing what you're doing.
You know what? Go ahead, Elmer.
Yeah, there's not much that I can add to that, really. Like, there's honestly, like, there's the only thing that I would like to have would maybe have the old school 360 where you hit the Xbox button to bring up kind of that old school in the center of the console, with access to all your things, the kind of blades deal. Like,
so kind of like an anniversary edition, like on Halo, you can like switch back and forth like the old stuff.
Yeah, I would actually like that because I like the way the 360 when you hit the Xbox button, I like the way that works much better than the way it does currently. Not that I have a complaint, I think it works great. I just thought that was a little bit faster for me.
You say that, but with now the time gone by and we've used both, I kind of prefer the menu on the left because I don't know, it's a little less. Well, see, the whole idea is when that menu was presented to us, if you guys remember, it sounded more like the game could still kind of go on, so you could still see what was happening. With the guide popping up in the middle of the screen, it takes away, because it doesn't sometimes always pause the game. It keeps you, depends on the game.
Yeah.
It keeps you in action, so you want to see. So if it pops up in the middle, you can't see anything, an enemy coming at you or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, like I said, both has its pros and cons. I like the way that was set up. I like how I could easily. I think if anything, it's more just I like to be able to see the achievements easier. There's still a little bit of issues with the way the achievements in game works.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
I'm still waiting for a couple things. I'm waiting for them to do the YouTube streaming, and I would love to see them do something like a share play. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of games that I have that I can't get through certain levels, and if I could share play with somebody and say, "Here, get me through this goddamn Batmobile level so I can finish the game," I would love that option. I don't know about you guys, but
you're struggling on the race against the Riddler, right?
God,
Jay, isn't that the option that the PlayStation 4 has, where your friend can jump in and play your game, or is that
or
true?
they could delete your save files, either or.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little too much control. It really is. It's almost like I don't want to take my car to get an oil change. Hey, bum on the side of the street. What are you doing later? Nothing. Here's my key.
I would hope you would give it to a family member or a close friend. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
If I had to say 3 features, I would say this: offer to do more of the game sharing than with just one person. I would say the ability to gift games or Xbox Live to people, and also the ability to sell digital games for at least something. Just, I mean, those
are solid, man.
Yeah,
those would be the 3. Yeah, see, I had plenty of time to think while you guys
idea,
were.
Crap. Great idea.
While you
Crap
guys
is
are all
strategic.
talking.
You guys understand? Crap is strategic. Don't ever think Crap has not done everything planned out. A lot of the times, what I say is literally off the cuff, and then Crap's like, "Why don't you guys speak amongst yourselves while I write this doctrine?"
Yeah, let me sit there and let me sit there and do that. But J Dubs has informed me that we have another one of our million voicemails, and so why don't you go ahead and get to that, Jay?
Yeah, we have a lot of voicemails this week, and I just want to let people know that if we don't get to your voicemail, we'll play you next week. A lot of people didn't realize that I'm doing the cutoff date on a Friday, so people are calling in on Saturday or even today and expecting to be on today's show. It's just not possible for my time and the prep work I have to put into this. So just be patient, you'll be heard.
It's a little miracle that we got the show running at all today, just to be honest.
Yes, it is. But it is the miracle month. Crap.
Yeah, it is the miracle month.
So
let's hear it. Who's this one from?
Voicemail from Ryan Shipperly.
Okay, Ryan Shipperly, you're on deck.
Hey, Mooch and Crap. This is the Random from the UK calling you guys. As Crap will put it, I'm a bit of a creeper on Twitter. I like and a lot of your stuff on there. But just wanted to say a couple of things. Firstly, I know you guys got a nonsense going around at the moment, but I just want to say keep doing what you guys do, and it's really good stuff. So keep up the good work. And second is actually a question: what type of game do you think Microsoft or Xbox, should be looking to invest in and put in their portfolio? Because I think they've got good portfolio at the moment, maybe something a bit more epic, large scale. I know they're a bit risk averse at the moment, but I think that would really grab the attention of the fan base at the moment. But anyway, it'd be good to hear what you say, and thank you very much for all the content. Up, guys. Bye.
All right. Well, thanks for the voicemail, Ryan. And it's always good to have creepers on Twitter. Yeah, I mean mostly Twitter is just creepers anyway. So to be honest with you, hey, let's screen cap what this guy said so we can blow who can blow this out of proportion. Who? I ask you. Oh, everybody on Twitter, right? Yeah. Yes, because we all know that we can get context, 100% context out of everybody's tweet, because 143 letters is perfectly suited for that. Yeah. And then we can all just like kind of flip out.
Take everything out of context and make sure all the people who know you pretty well over the past 2 years also tries to flip out as well and write ridiculous things when you know very well and damn well that you're taking the tweet out of context. Yes, and you know the person, and you know that they wouldn't say anything vindictive or cruel. So what I ask people is, sometimes if you log into this show, or you watch me, Crap, or anybody from BGST on Twitter, or wherever you follow us, like take everything with a grain of salt and don't fucking call the authorities right away. It was a kind of a travesty to see just the way some of the Xbox community kind of went at people in their own community this weekend, when they really just took matters into their own hands. That's the last I'll say about that, but it was disappointing at the very least.
It is, because people know us, and if you don't know us, if you just know us as these YouTube guys, then it's just, don't take it seriously. Like people that take things seriously, especially like get outraged over the social justice warriors and all this nonsense, it's like, relax. There's always going to be somebody that says something that you don't agree with, or maybe something. Like, stop being a pussy. Like, so many pussies in this world nowadays. It's like, God damn. Like,
well, the worst part is, crap. The worst part is this. All I ask is this. I think we should send everybody out that's on Twitter a free MNC in the mornings mirror, because before you tweet out something and you think you're more holier than thou, why don't you go look at yourself in the mirror before you hit send?
Yes, and listen to the Metallica song while you're doing that.
Everybody is pretty much a hypocrite that comes out and says something like they've never cursed or never said anything. Just remember, everybody, when you point the finger and say that person's a scumbag or this person's a jerk off or this person's a this or that, remember, you've been called that many a times by people that you know, and it's usually taken out of context. So it was a damn shame. It's a damn shame. I'm willing to move on from it myself personally.
Me too. I mean, I already am. I don't personally care. I don't usually talk about.
But
this.
I stayed silent on it, and I just wanted to make a very general quote to say, just before you think you know somebody, take a look at yourself in the mirror, and if you are wearing one of those priests or nun outfits and you've dedicated yourself to the Lord, then you go ahead and hit that tweet button. But until you're wearing one of those outfits or you've done something like Mother Teresa, don't judge somebody else on Twitter because you're probably
especially
a jackass
look at the
too.
source. Look at the sources too. Let me point that out too, because I have no problem. I know we got a call. I have no problem pointing out. Look at the goddamn source first of all, and then if the source leads back to somebody that's jealous or somebody that's a PlayStation fan that just wants to try to ruin your name because we do popular shows or people like us or follow us, then again, look at the source. Use your goddamn brain. And that's basically all I'll say to that. And I'll let everybody else get in on that in a second as well. But we have a call. And I'm full hot on the deal. But MNC Mornings, what's up?
Okay, you live.
Hey, Mooch, A-Crap, GKB, and Hell Hammer. I just want to say thank you for everything you guys do. 'Tis the season for thanks and all that fun stuff.
Ho, ho, ho.
I appreciate all the hard work and energy you guys put into all your shows and podcasts and everything else. I'm glad you guys found Mooch. Now, only if we could find Growing Up Gaming at the same time, you'd be a happy man. I say it as the fan, Mooch. I say it as the fan.
I know.
But my question today is, what franchise would you guys like to see rebooted? Totally remade, done over again? Me personally, I would like a kind of a 007 take on Perfect Dark. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.
That was a great damn question, to be honest with you.
That was a great question.
Because I was actually going to bring this up too, and we'll go all the way around the room on this one. But I'll say right away, I agree 100%. I was going to say Perfect Dark because I think what was that? The last question was what portfolio type game is Xbox missing? Take Perfect Dark, reboot it into a gritty, maybe third person style game or something like that. And there you go. Like, I think that would be perfect. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a great idea, crap. I mean, look at Sony's kind of doing it right now where they're taking the Uncharted series and they're putting that female protagonist in the place now.
Yeah. It's
kind of moving that. But if we could take Perfect Dark and take that female protagonist and go somewhere between an Uncharted and a James Bond type. I've always said this. I mean, you can go back and check. I've said this a number of times on, I think, MNC, but it was definitely on BGST. I've mentioned that we need to have something that's like that, more like that Shanghai game.
Shanghai Heist or whatever it was.
Game. Something like that, but with the Perfect Dark caricature, because that way you've already got somebody. It's a household name to a certain degree. I wouldn't exactly say it's the most popular name in the household, but at least it's something. It's a base to start from. That kind of a game, it resonates with people. They're making, I think next year the 800th fucking version of James Bond comes out. Right? We've had 20 different James Bonds. They're usually pretty bad. But for some reason, studios don't keep making movies because they don't make money, right? So we all make fun of James Bond. We all say 007's over. Isn't this over? Isn't it over? This guy was the best. No, that one was the best. My point is somebody's making money on it. And to be honest with you, that's what's key. So use a James Bond-esque type theme, and I think you've got a lot of longevity you can pull out of that genre.
Yeah, I agree. GKB, what are your thoughts like on a reboot or something?
Man, I always go back to like the OG Xbox, and one of my favorite like platformers and like that kind of thing is like Metal Arms Glitch in the System. I would love to see like a reboot of that, or Crimson Skies, or something like that, man. I really enjoyed those games and had a lot of fun with them. So
Crimson Skies, it was great. I remember I was playing that. I was capping some footage for review not too long ago, which I still haven't done, but I ended up just playing the game for hours because I was like, damn, this is fun. You know what I mean? So yeah. That game.
real quick.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, like Hellhammer and I are just here to help out. We're not taking over the show in any sense of the imagination. Like, calm down, guys. We're just helping out.
I was literally called in last minute because they couldn't find Mooch. So
I was banging on his door. I was like, "However, I got nobody. Help!" He was like, "It's M and nothing." Like,
Well,
I got Jay,
you know what we're gonna do to make sure this never happens again is Jay Williams is coming to my house and Craps, and he's installing the bat phone. So that way, the second that Jay or Crap picks up the phone, it rings at the other two homes. So it'll never happen again. But yeah, thanks to Hellhammer and GKB for helping out. I had a late get up go this morning, so it's been just a bit of wildness.
Yeah, they were gracious enough to help me out. I was begging for help this morning.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, and we'll get to Hellhammer's reboot in a second, but we got a call. MNC Mornings, what's up? Yellow. ¿Cómo estás?
Hey, Mooch, this is Bones Carlos, man, calling from Washington, D.C.
Nice.
First of all, Wink, man, you're doing a good job. Mooch, man, I'm happy that you're here. You here. You was late, but you're here. I have a question and a comment. My question, first of all, is do you think Microsoft will release the Xbox Scorpio with a custom theme consoles like Crackdown 3 or Scalebound with the game included? And my comment is Xbox fans calm down. PlayStation experience was alright, but it wasn't that great. Only one game I'm getting out that damn thing, and that's for us too. Whenever if that comes out. And keep up the good work. And if y'all can, hook a brother up one of them 3 months or 1 year Xbox Go. Peace, man. Y'all have a good show.
That's Boss Carlos. You can tell
Nice,
he's a Mooch maniac.
Yes, he is. He's been one of the first ones. He's been with me for a long time, man. Shout out to him and thank you for your support.
Yeah. Hold on. What was his question? He was asking.
I think he was asking what game would be bundled with the Scorpio.
Oh yeah.
I don't think listen. That's an old school thought, and I really applaud him for thinking about that because you remember when we used to go pick up our SNES or all the old systems, the Genesis,
Mario World, or
yeah, there'd be games bundled in there. And look, there's nothing better than taking something home, plugging it in the wall. This is my MO with the Pro. Is you plug it in the wall, there's nothing to play. There's nothing better than to go home and play that. Now, unfortunately. With I think GKB said this a number of times, with the amount of money that is now going into these video games, it's almost, unless it's a first-party studio game, and even then, it would have to be something like a Halo 3 Anniversary, something where it's just costing them, minimal dollars. I don't think you could take something like a Crackdown 3, which is supposed to be technologically groundbreaking, and throw that in the box, be like, hey, enjoy this, guys, on us. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's what I could see, Mooch, though, is maybe some of the games that are already out now, like maybe Halo 5 with like a 4K update or something like that. Like, throw those in there because
something like that would be easy enough to do.
A new game, absolutely not.
But yeah, it won't be a new game. It won't be a $60 title. It's just coming out or hasn't been released yet, or it's going to be released alongside it. That's just crazy.
Well, I can see this, right? Buy the Xbox Scorpio with Gears 4 that's going to be the 4K know what I mean, the 4K patch by then, you know what I mean, or something like that. I could see that.
And we always talk about like with consoles and stuff and price points a really big deal, like so that's always a consideration when they start throwing more stuff into the box. Like at some point they got to be like, well, is this really worth it at this point? So, we want to keep the cost down. We want everybody to, get on board with Scorpio. So
absolutely. Hellhammer, just to go back to you real quick, what reboot would you want to see? Just because I don't want to forget about you.
That's a tough one, actually. I would have to say probably Banjo-Kazooie.
Ooh,
I think that would be really well rebooted.
I would love that too, or like a Battletoads or something.
Yeah, they say to go back to the roots. I mean, I know they have the 2 older ones, but at this point, it's so far into its life cycle. Not a lot of people really remember playing those, and they played them when they were younger, that sort of thing. So just the whole new game, just from the big start to beginning, just with the whole new story.
Yeah, exactly.
No sequels, nothing like that.
I 100% agree. And Jay,
Sorry, I just want to tell the new guys on in the house today that the way that the system works here, and I have to adjust it now that we have more people answering questions. But I usually only want to keep people on hold for about 2 minutes, and then that's when I ring them in. So I apologize for Hellhammer for cutting them off. And
not a problem. Did we have another call right now or no?
No, we don't have a call now, but we do have a voicemail from Niners for Life.
Okay, Niners for Life. Let's hear that voicemail, bro. Rack that up.
Gamers tag is Niners for Life. I have 2 questions.
first question is, do you think during this year's upcoming event, will Microsoft show the Scorpio before E3 or big reveal during E3? Second question is, out of the 4 consoles that came out the previous 2 to 3 years, which one's probably the biggest flop? The Steam Machine from the PC, the NVIDIA Shield, the UA, and the Wii U. All right, thanks.
That's tough. I'm gonna say the Steam machines.
Yeah, the Steam machines definitely. Because anybody who wants to play on PC isn't going to go buy a pre-built system. That's
they'll build their own.
I always make this point, right? Because people are like, I was getting this today on Twitter. Crap, Gears and Halo are going to be on PC, so what's the point in getting an Xbox? My point would be, if you're a console gamer and prefer consoles, that's why. Because 99%, and I keep saying this, 99% of the games we as gamers buy and play are multi-platforms, and 98% of those are on PC. But yet we still buy them on consoles because we're console gamers. It doesn't make a hill of beans. The problem is PC gamers like their PC, and they're old school that way. They build their PCs. They like, you know what I mean? They're not going to go buy a console-esque PC. You know what I mean?
The whole point of having a PC is having a custom rig.
Yeah, so basically they tried to bridge the gap, and it didn't work. So it was a big failure, and I remember everybody saying it was going to be huge, and look out Microsoft and Sony, and it ended up flopping big time. So,
Well, listen, the media's been doing this, for many, many, many years, but just recently with social media, it's caught fire, and people start to panic, and everyone needs to calm down. We say it all the time. I think that's why I think we're becoming more therapy shows and gaming shows. You've got, oh my God, it's the end of everybody. It's the end of Xbox with these game machines.
oh yeah,
coming out.
oh my God!
Oh, it was over, right?
It was almost as bad as the Last of Us 2. Like, I don't know if you were on Twitter much yesterday,
no,
but everybody's like, Xbox done. It's done. It's done. I'm like, okay, hold on. Even if the Last of Us 2 releases in 2019. How the hell is Xbox done in 2016? Please tell me. Please explain that to me. How?
Well, maybe Sony invents a time machine and they bring the game back to now. I mean,
look. I mean, come on. They didn't even have a legit any gameplay or anything. That's just Sony being Sony.
This is the second or third time in a row. Okay, we've seen, what is it now? The Death Standing or Stranding, whatever, the Kojima movie, like that. The Kojima movie. We've seen now Ellie playing the guitar and Joel coming in, just kicking a ball on the side. Like, none of this is a game. You can't get excited unless they start showing gameplay. Like everybody, but when Microsoft shows a clip of like a movie or something coming, they're like, oh my God, Microsoft, grow a pair and put some gameplay up there. Sony does it, and they got people. And I mean, there's a lot of reports. Shout out to Red Dragon. I heard you. I did get a chance to watch some crap of your initial thoughts of PSX with GKB She-Wolf. The thing about it is, in Xbot, is that there was Sony people hired to be in the audience clapping. Listen, Sony works in Hollywood, guys. Remember that. I made a joke the other day, but I was apparently dead balls accurate. They're like, excuse me, do you have a tendency to cry a lot during happy moments? Yes. Okay, we're putting a camera here. And, that's what they did. They position everything very Hollywood-esque. So when they show people clapping and things like that, those are Sony employees.
Yeah.
It's all part of the show. And the problem is everybody, they get spoon-fed and they all eat it. I'm a huge Last of Us fan, first of all. So I was very happy to see that Last of Us 2 is coming out. But happy to see it is just same as like when you, back in the day when you open the newspaper, or now when you click on your favorite news source and they're like, so-and-so, like, what is it? Martin Scorsese says he's going to team up with Leonardo DiCaprio and they're going to make, whatever, The Reverend 2. And you're like, oh, that's really great. But you don't go home and tell your wife, don't make any plans. Don't make any plans. The Reverend 2's coming out, hon. So from today until like 6 years from now, I want Fridays freed up. You know what I mean? Like, my point being is, like, everyone shits themselves about a game that's coming out in 3.5 years.
That's a great moochism. I love it. Jesus, we don't even get to everybody because we got a call. No, it's like the show's popping, man. We're taking this thing to 3. Let's rock.
Yeah, Mike. Hey, the Giants aren't on the 4. I can do that.
MNC Mornings. How you doing? What's up?
Oh, hi. Eder here. From Mexico, actually. I've been a fan of you guys for a little bit, kind of new.
Almost.
I was calling because of the whole Xbox versus PC thing. I I built a PC like when the 970 came out. I jumped into the whole thing like, oh, I wanted to see like I wanted to have the machine that runs the best. But then like I bought Gears digitally, and honestly, I couldn't tell the difference. Like I play back and forth, and honestly, I really can't tell the difference. So I don't know, like all this talk about like, oh, PC runs better and looks better. Honestly, it's kind of mute to me. Like, so I totally agree with you guys with the whole like PC versus console thing. And I guess if to ask a question, I don't know if you guys heard about the Xbox Fan Fest that happened here in Mexico. It was really cool. I thought it was like a fan thing, but no, actually, it was an official Microsoft thing, and even Phil was here, so that was pretty cool. All right, guys, take care.
You know, in the long and the short of it, what he's saying is, I listen. There's a lot of people that I'm actually very good friends with on the Xbox community that also have PCs. And listen, that's fine. It's fine. Listen, everything's a hobby. But when you want to actually have a conversation with somebody, especially where we're going into 2017 with Scorpio, the gap between PC and the maintenance and the nonsense and the just the ridiculousness that PC people have to go through. Usually PC people get worse ports. I know that may change in the future. Things are changing in that. But like Batman Arkham Knight didn't work on PC. Fallout had a hard time. There's just a bunch of problems on the PC because it's just it's an open and Hellhammer can help me here. It's not. There's no closed system. There's no checks and balances. It's an open system.
Everybody can be running pretty much a mixture of hardware from now all the way back to like 2012 basically. So I mean again, like I enjoy PC gaming to an extent. Again, most of my game is done on Xbox. I do play PC games, but there's still the ease of putting in a game on the Xbox and playing it.
Yeah.
It's still much better. You can sit back, play it,
Well, listen,
whatever.
you know, I'll relate it to this, Hellhammer. Here's why I'm confused. I mean, I definitely have the capital, the extra capital if I wanted to go out and build a computer, okay? My whole point is the reason I don't is there's mass transit out there, right? In almost every city except for Craps where he still gets mail dedicated by a horse and buggy.
Hey, no shit. There was a fucking horse that broke loose running down the road last night at midnight. No shit. Like,
yeah, there was.
I totally believe that, by the way.
I might have been a pony. I looked out there. I was like, what the hell is that? A fucking pony walking down the road.
But my point being is that it's easier. It's more convenient to just not have to pay car insurance and put fuel in your own car and this and that. You can just take the city bus to work every day. That the PC world is like that. I could buy a computer and put some parts in it, and it'll play what your Xbox does. It's a piece of cake, and I gotta have a computer anyway. So it's two birds, one stone. See you, mooch. And it's like, all right, whatever. I just myself personally, I don't see who. Hellhammer, you're a good example since you said it. You have a PC and you have an Xbox. And you say you do your majority of your gaming on Xbox. Unless a game is specific to the computer, like you're a Dota person or a World of Warcraft, if you're not one of those games, I just completely don't understand who can't wait to come home and get up in front of their desk and stare at a 28-inch screen and get into it. I just can't.
Right. Well, look, I mean, to be honest, right? Like I play Xbox anytime I play competitively, I play it on a monitor. Just because I like the close up of the screen.
Same here, brother.
It's just a much easier to track people if it's a shooter, that kind of thing. But the thing is that what makes it easy. I mean, look, the PC can be as easy or as difficult as you want it to be. I mean, you can have it set up so that you can play it on your big screen. You can play it with an Xbox controller. I mean, hell, I play 90% of my PC games with an Xbox controller because I really don't do any multiplayer gaming with it. The only thing that I really enjoy about it is that, look, like I beat The Witcher on Xbox. I can play through it on PC, get a few Steam achievements, and play it at 4K, 60 frames, or whatever the case may be, at Ultra, so it looks a little bit better while I'm playing through it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
I just
did
look,
I have? It's still the same amount of fun when I'm playing it on.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not
Like,
gonna listen. I'm not gonna bash the idea. Like Hellhammer likes to do that. That's great. I don't get it personally.
Yeah, I mean that's my personal thing.
It's
I like
not-
to tweak with things, so that's my
right.
thing.
And there you go. And therein lies the difference between, I think, consumer A and consumer B. And I'm the other consumer in the fact that, like, that's why I prefer iPhone. This is not not to jump in the iPhone Android world. I just want a phone out of my life has so much stuff going on right now that I just don't have time to tinker with my phone. I need YouTube to work, Twitter to work, messaging to work, my phone to work, and maybe one important weather app. My point being is that, like, yes, I have other apps and things on there. Sure, when it's sitting there, you're just having fun, that's fine. But there's people who have more time on their hands and they like to tinker. Like, I don't want to come home and look like a mechanic underneath my desk. Be like, just gotta fix this one more motherboard. Be right out. I just want to come home. I want, I love it. Can you imagine, crap? You're on one of those like wheeled things in your back, and you're like fixing like, just gotta get a little oil in this bitch. And I don't get it. Look, but a lot of people in America have a lot of time on their hands, and if that's their hobby, that's awesome. But myself personally, you guys, anyone who's friends with me on Xbox Live or talks to me on Twitter knows I don't get on till almost 10:30 at night. I turn that bad boy on and I want to play now. I don't want to tinker. I don't want to update my Windows. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do I just don't want to do all that nonsense.
I want to touch on the other part of his question too. When he was playing Gears on PC and playing Gears on the PC, and he really didn't tell a difference. I think that's important to talk about as well, because you see, and we talk about lazy devs a lot, and when you get a dev that actually understands the hardware or actually wants to understand and use it to the fullest extent, I mean, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get like games that look almost identical on the PC and Xbox. And to Mooch's point too, like with the hardware and everything coming out, the gap is going to get like closer and closer and closer, and you're not going to see much of a difference at all.
Yeah, you know what? And I mentioned this to Helmer the other day because he was doing one of his classic troll hammer things. He was trying to act like he was a big time PC gamer and stuff. And I was telling him, I was like, look, these devs, especially the first party ones, are optimizing these games first for Xbox. You know what I mean? That's why they're playing so well. And I think that really shows. You know what I mean? Like the game is going to get Gears 4 will get patched up to 4K when Scorpio comes out. It'll be all good. You know what I mean? Like I'm interested to see how that kind of stuff works out.
I will throw out props to the coalition though, that they did a hell of a port for Gears 4 on PC. That worked perfect.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, because they had a long time to work on that, you know what I mean? And like to your point earlier, Hellhammer, you said Scorpio, the difference will be games are being made already to take advantage of that, where the Pro is getting these backwards ass patches, and people are like, hey, who wants to take it back to 2013 or 2014 and play some?
You go back and you try to patch something, it's gonna come out like shit. I mean, that's
you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have issues because you don't have you have a skeleton team or crew working on it. Look, right, like. People don't want to go back, and Bethesda doesn't want to go back and make something for Fallout 4 to backpatch it to 4K on a console on a game that they're not worrying about sales for anymore. That game's gone. It's past. It's done.
Absolutely. And we've got like 360 watching. Hit that damn like button. Let's get some likes rolling in here, folks. Let's see if we can't get this bitch up to 250 likes. Rack them likes up, folks. And we got a very special voicemail apparently coming in. Jay, you ready to roll that?
I'm sorry, lady. We also would have those Xbox One S Minecraft editions. Sorry, guys. It's Vince here from GameStop. Been trying to get in contact with a listener of yours. His name's Tony. Tony came in a few weeks ago when he traded in a PS4 Pro. And that unit seems to be overheating now. And just wondering if, Tony, you're not going to answer our calls. Maybe just come down the store, Tony. I know you're listening. And, we'll give you the unit back, and you give us our $5 back, and we can call it a day, okay?
That's great.
Okay.
Thanks. now we have random GameStop employee calling, guys. It's great.
You're gonna give him this $5 back. So I mean, at least you're gonna get your $5 back. Congrats. Congrats. Yeah, you can't ask for anything better than that.
We should roll into another voicemail, I think, Jay. I think we have like 800 left.
Yeah, we have quite a few. So let's go with Hayabusa Soul.
Nice.
Hayabusa.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Hey, Mooch and Crap. This is me. Hi, this is Soul. I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Well, things going on the internet around lately that Capcom is teasing Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Yeah, and I know you guys aren't into those Japanese games, but tournament fighters like these are kind of important. Do you guys think it's going to be multi-plat, or do you think they could do the same thing with Street Fighter 5 and make it a PS4 exclusive? I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Thank you for having me. Bye.
All right. Well, your question's already been answered because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was announced. It's going to be multi-platform. I think Capcom learned their lesson with their fighters. You can't. Not only that, but to use the Marvel license is probably kind of expensive, and so they're going to have to put it on as many platforms as possible. So we know that.
The other thing is too, Crap. I want to answer his question. Is a lot of people always say, "Oh, you guys don't like the Japanese games." I think we don't like some of the Japanese games. You're misunderstanding. Like Kamasaki Dragon 17, Ninja Foo Fighters 27. Titans and Small People 13. No, I'm not into those types of games. Like the Japanese games that are completely Japanese schoolgirls and their heels. Like I'm not into like that kind of stuff.
Final Fantasy 15 is awesome.
Final Fantasy 15 is freaking great. By the way, listen, I like the traditional, but yet very, very like mainstream Japanese games. The games that we grew up playing that we've been so lucky to have come through the generations. Those are the games that I genuinely enjoy. I didn't know much about Dark Souls. I'm enjoying getting into that. Of course, I've put it on pause with all the games that came out, but I will be going back to Dark Souls 3. I like that type of game. I think the Japanese culture does a really good job with using the word game differently, okay? American interpretation of a video game goes in one direction, Japanese the other. Now, when the Japanese one goes full Japanese, you see that scale go whoom all the way to the other side, then you lose me a little bit. I think a lot of reasons everyone's enjoying Final Fantasy 15 is it's more westernized now. So it's a blend. You can still see people are like, it's too westernized. Maybe for you guys over there in Asia, but for us, we still get a really good sense of the Japanese culture in Final Fantasy 15. Like, there's things that these people are saying, the music, okay, the way that the characters actually run. They're all very, very much a Western theme. Like, you see the way, like, Marcus Phoenix runs. Like, when he runs, the earth shakes and he pounds his feet. Here the guy's running, like, silently and swiftly. It's like the old cartoons we used to have when we were kids of the anime, Japanese things on Saturday morning. You know what I mean? Like, there's just more different art style that's still very, very Asian-centric, which is great. But it still has enough of the fighting mechanics that they brought over in the Western world that's not turn-based. And even though I grew up playing turn-based games, it is nice to see that they made that change. It's a little bit easier for people in this country to get used to it. But, I mean, it's not that me and Crap, I shouldn't put Crap's name in there. I don't know how he feels. It's not that I hate all Japanese games. I just don't like the games like One Piece, where you turn the game on and you just press the X button for 7 hours. It's just slash.
Or like Attack on Titan, like you called it. You were like, "Why?" You were like, "Why? You're gonna hate it." And I was like, "And I'll be damned if I didn't hate it."
Yeah, it's just it's not fun. I mean, I shouldn't say that because there's some people who still like to play like that game where it's just like a pinball in your hand and you got to get the ball into the hole while you're waiting. Like, there's still people who like to play all crossword puzzles. But I mean, in my opinion, Attack on Titan, things like that, those are not my cup of tea. And I think that I do speak for the general audience in the United States because, as you can see, Attack on Titan will never make the top 10, like never. So I mean, it's not that big of a game over here. So, yeah, Crap. I mean, that was when I was alluding to when you were playing that. I was like, my God, you're just going to use that game as a coaster.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got it digitally, so.
My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, look, those aren't really my type of games either. There's some, like, I enjoyed Lost Odyssey last gen and, like, some of the Blue Dragon. Like, there's some good ones, you know what I mean? Like, there's some decent ones. But it's like, for me, I don't like the, what's that called, Hellhammer, when it's, like, the not. Like Final Fantasy 15 has like straight on combat, but when it's like
you don't like the turn-based combat.
Yeah, I'm not a big turn-based combat. I mean, I like that in South Park. I thought that was cool. But for the most part, that's South Park. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would like that in.
I mean, you also got to look too, right? Like Attack on Titan, right? Like that game. I mean, I'm sure if you're a fan of the anime or whatever, regardless of how the game is, you'd probably enjoy it because of the story, just the story alone. But if you're not a fan of that kind of thing, I mean, it's kind of lost on you.
Yeah. So, like GKB, what are your thoughts on like the Japanese stuff?
I mean, to each his own. Honestly, like if you enjoy that stuff, that's cool. I think Phil at the end of the day, he does want to get like JRPGs and stuff on, and get that in his repertoire of games for the thing. But I'm much like you. It's not that I don't per se like them or anything like that. I just don't have the time to devote to a lot of these games that are like hundreds plus hours. I mean, I still haven't even finished The Witcher 3, just because I don't have time. Yeah,
No,
well,
Witcher
I
3.
mean, but I mean, more options for
I'm the only
gamers.
person in here who's beat that game.
Yeah, probably.
And the DLCs, like I was like, he's like, I started it on PC.
Yeah, I have actually. I'm like halfway through it on PC too.
But I think at the end of the day, like more options for gamers is always a good thing. So
Yeah, I agree. But look here, the people like that want to put Phil on blast or Microsoft on blast for not catering to this. Last generation, Microsoft spent millions and millions getting JRPGs and Japanese games.
And no one bought them.
And nobody bought them. Like nobody. Like even though there are some good ones, like Lost Odyssey, which was I think made by the Final Fantasy guy or Blue Dragon, one of those I'm sure was. And they're good. Nobody bought them. So why invest millions of dollars for something that nobody's going to buy? Like I just think that's how it's going to go. And I know we got some more. We are going to go past one today, just so everybody knows. Like GKB, if you guys got a bolt or whatever, that's fine. But I just wanted to let you guys know that we started late, so we're going to go a little bit past one, and we got some more voicemails and stuff. So, J Dubs, what do we got on deck?
Yeah, we've got mass murders on deck. Here we go.
Nice.
All right. Rack them up, mass murders.
Hey, Mooch. Hey, Crap. It's Mass Murder here. Hey, Jay Williams. Just calling in to see if you think the Sea of Thieves is going to be any good, and would you like to play it on Xbox One? And by the way, look at those Sony sales. Yeah. Xbox One VR for the win. Boom. See y'all later.
What was the beginning part of that?
You wanted to know if we thought Sea of Thieves would be good?
Oh, well, I'm holding out on that still. I think that it's got high possibilities. I don't know where Microsoft's got to show me more on the quest-based part of the game, not the building of the ship. The building of the ship, like all these MMOs that are out there, even that Star Trek Online, I hear Jamie Moran talk about it all the time. There's a lot of stuff out there where you can do this stuff. It's all about the quests. If the quest system and the buddy system really works well, Sea of Thieves is going to be fantastic. If Sea of Thieves ends up being where you need your crew to do everything and you can't have any individualism, that's not good. If it's too individual and not crew related, that's not good. It's really hard to make a game like this. So my hat goes off to Rare and trying to be so ambitious. I really hope they're able to pull it together.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. I mean, as far as like Sea of Thieves go, I'm on board with it. I think it's going to be a great game. It's also one of those games that's really hard to show off without like giving people a lot of the story and what's going on. So that's going to be an interesting thing, like when E3 or if it comes out before then or whenever it's coming out, like when they're showing that kind of stuff and doing the marketing and stuff for it.
I think the other thing you're going to see too, right? Because the type of game that it inherently is, as Mooch does have a point with how it has to be fairly balanced with where everything works.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game that I'm definitely going to buy it day one just because I want to support new IPs. I'm really looking forward to it. I like the theme around it. The pirate theme hasn't been explored too much, so it's not like jogged through the dirt basically like everything else has been. But I mean, again, if you're expecting it to be like super awesome and ultra balanced when it first releases, you're going to have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So you're going to wait a week or two or three or even a month for a patch and for a lot of these issues to be ironed out. And that's just what you're gonna have to go into the game looking at, because it's an MMO type game. Stuff has to be ironed out on anything like that.
Yeah,
I mean, Destiny, there's one Division, everything.
Well, just to be fair, like I hear this a lot since PlayStation experience as well. Microsoft's not taking any risks, and then I just kind of facepalm, and I'm like, are you serious? You think Rare doing a new IP? They're one of the only studios doing new IP, and you're talking about this like kind of MMO-ish multiplayer pirate thing with adventure.
Yeah,
that's a huge risk. Like they probably.
Well, I got a question for you guys. This is kind of off topic a bit, but somebody brought it up on Twitter yesterday, and it was in the whole PSX fiasco. But the question was legit, and I got to be honest with you, I would be lying to you in the audience if I didn't tell you that I did ask this question myself many, many, many months ago, maybe even a year ago. Is okay, Naughty Dog. Where did this company come from? It's like, what does your daddy do? You know, I feel like that damn Arnold Schwarzenegger soundtrack. No, where did they come from? And how
What
did
does your daddy do?
Yeah, what does your daddy do? We should get Noof to do that. No, but
Yeah.
like in all honesty, like I don't understand how Sony's been able to lock down things like Naughty Dog, and even though I can't stand Guerrilla Games because I don't think they can do anything but make a pretty game. I don't know how they were able to lock those two companies down, and Microsoft was not able to lock one company down to that art degree. There is a clear difference, crap. I mean, I genuinely think that Gears and Halo go head-to-head with the likes of Uncharted, The Last of Us, and like Killzone. But you do have to admit, once we step out of that comfort zone, okay, we have the Recores. You know what I mean? We have you have these other games that kind of come out and you're like, I mean, Sunset Overdrive was good, but very, very heavily cartoony. It was very much like a Ratchet and Clank. We don't have these, and I know, crap, you're not a fan of them really, so it's hard for me to make this point to you because you're going to go, so what? I don't care. But those real life, real environmental scenarios, the way that like Days Gone or whatever that new game's going to be that's coming out, or The Last of Us 2, or this Uncharted DLC or Uncharted 4, that grittiness, that art detail, you do have to admit that the audience does seem to gravitate towards that because, of course, it's beautiful to the eye. So my whole point is that why is it that Microsoft, with the abundance, and I know Phil's on a budget and Phil's only got X dollars to spend. I get that. I understand business, and I applaud them for that. But in the case of Sea of Thieves and Rare as a whole, because people are going to go, Mooch, Sea of Thieves is supposed to be cartoony and this and that. That's fine. But I was a little bit more reserved and taken back when I saw Sea of Thieves because I wanted more of Assassin's Creed Black Flag type of pirate ship. A little bit more of that grittiness. You know what I mean? Where right now, it's like the planks of wood are almost like a yellowy cartoon. I'm waiting for Foghorn Leghorn to come around, the corner, and be like,
Hi, your ultimate party pony!
Oh, there you go. Next caller wins the prize. Crap, you'll decide the prize.
It's gonna be a month of EA Access and EA Access cards. So call in on Skype, MC Space Mornings, and you will win a 1 month.
That's a great gift.
Yeah, access. Yeah, because there's a ton of. I mean, you could, even if you didn't want to keep paying for it afterward, you could probably get through a good handful of games in that amount of time. You know what I mean?
But what do you guys think, crap, apart what I'm saying? Do you understand? Do you see my concern where everything just seems to be very, very Warner Brothers cartoonish in the past year or two? Even so, I'm a huge fan, and I'm a proponent of Sunset Overdrive 2 coming out. But I mean, to be honest with you, I just wouldn't mind something with the art detail that like The Last of Us gives the Sony platform, a little something gritty. We don't have that.
I agree with that. Like if you look at things, right, like Crackdown is that cell shaded type thing. Sea of Thieves is that. You know what I mean? So I guess I would agree with that. But then I think Sony, on the other hand, does it a little bit too far. If you notice, God of War looks like The Last of Us now, and Horizon Zero Dawn, and that Days Gone game, and then of course The Last of Us looks like The Last of Us. Oh, it looks like we have a wiener. Hello.
Yes, we have a wiener.
Who is it? Who won?
Yo, what's poppin'? Yo, it's your boy 730, man, calling from Bridgeport, CT. Shout out to my boy Mooch, crap. Shout out to my girls, Old Snap. Shout out to my boy X-Bot. Shout out to Jay. Man, shout out to the whole team, man. GKB. Yo, I would like to thank you guys for giving me that free code. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Now, go. Hey, yo, Mooch, what you guys think about? I was just thinking about something. What you think about Microsoft doing like a early release for like the Scorpio, but you got to pay more? You know what I'm saying? Something like a little inside program or like a dev kit or whatever to the Xbox players. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that? And also, I'm a baseball fan. I like basketball and all that other shit, but I grew up playing baseball out here in CT, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like when we gonna get a real baseball game, man? I ain't talking about that RBI looking shit, that cartoon character looking shit that we got, that cheap ass baseball.
Yo, that call could have been
the baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Timed.
Online and all that, real looking baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, so talk to your homies on Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, but Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Ask them about a baseball, man, because I left a couple of messages for 12 with Phil Spencer and all them. They never got back to me. So I'm like, fuck it. But you guys, you be chatting with them here and there, so please ask them about a baseball game. Tell them that we need a baseball game, a real baseball game. About time the Scorpio drops, yo, we should have a baseball game for the Scorpio on real shit. But yo, peace out, man. God bless. 100. I'm out.
Yo, first of all, thank you for the call. That man was real. And let me tell you something. I agree with a lot of what he said. I'm a huge baseball fan myself. The thing about it is, unfortunately, the one thing I want to talk about in his comment was the fact that he asked for something. Did you see what he just said? I thought that was neat because I just got done saying that. He wants real, gritty, real life kind of looking baseball. Okay, he doesn't want cartoony baseball. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of people I can kind of see, over the past 24 hours, just reading the tweets, taking it all in, not responding to people, just reading it all. I'm seeing people what they want. And I can't believe that I'm seeing this. And I know that you guys on this panel are seeing it, or at least have thought about it. And the people at Xbox are not seeing it. It's time to make some serious, like even Crackdown 3, which I'm excited for, is cartoony. It's time to make a game that has an art direction. And, maybe you got to go hire a nut like a Neil Druckmann or something. Or Amy Hennig left Naughty Dog. Like when these people leave Naughty Dog, you scoop them up. Like if you can learn anything, don't listen to me. Watch the New York Yankees. Anytime somebody leaves a team that's good, it doesn't mean you get ultimate success, but they got more flags waving in Brooklyn than anybody, or excuse me, in the Bronx than anybody else. My point being is just that you go get some of the best people out there, and you don't just turn it over to a company's name. You turn it over to a person. Okay, the reason that people like MNC Mornings, and this isn't because Hellhammer and GKB are here. I got a lot of great messages this morning when I was running about a half an hour late. That they were like, Mooch, where are you? Mooch, where are you? And they do the same thing when Crap's missing. People tune in for this show. You can go plug in. Me and Crap could not be here next Sunday. It could be GKB and his entire crew. And people will be like, that's great. We love GKB. And the same thing goes for Console Corner. If people tune in for Console Corner, it's just Mooch and Crap. It's not the same. My point being is Neil Druckmann is Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog isn't Neil Druckmann. So what you have to understand is Microsoft is doing the wrong thing sometimes in the fact that they're like, Rare's going to take it from here. Well, here's me. You know what I say? Who's Rare? Rare is a logo. Rare is a Corp Inc. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Who's the head of Rare? What's his background? Who's working Greg under Duncan. Him? Yeah, well, okay, so Greg Duncan, right? But what's his success? What was his last success game? You know that too, right?
I mean, Brad? I think he's been there for a while. I mean,
I'm sure you were going to throw out a good name. I wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, he was behind like Viva Pinata and all that stuff. You know what
right?
I mean?
But there you go. Thank you. The defense rests. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, I love those.
That's
games.
fine.
I'm a big fan of Pinata.
Crap, I love Dig Dug. I put about $75, okay, into my local arcade. I love Dig Dug, but I don't want the guy who made Dig Dug making my next big multi-million-dollar fortune on Xbox. So my point being is I'm not bashing. I didn't know it was Greg, and pardon me for not knowing that. But my point being is that I think a lot of Xbox fans are looking for a little bit more, oomph in their games. And I think that we're getting that in Halo and we get it in Gears. And for some of us, that's enough.
I mean, that might be.
Well, again, it kind of looks. It depends, Crap. It's cartoony, okay? It's kind of like the new Zelda meets Sunset Overdrive. It's not raw and hard emotions, and like it could have been like where the dragon comes down and it's just nasty. You know what I mean? It's nasty and it's just gritty, nasty. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just. I hate to be so, but I think that people are kind of getting what I'm saying. They're resonating a little bit with what I'm saying. It's I don't know. Look, that's just one man's take.
What about State of Decay 2? I mean, that might be something that's more.
What is it? Say it again, Crap.
State of Decay 2.
Yes. Now, State of Decay, okay, they have the possibility to make this thing really gritty and really Walking Dead, right? But they could also lean towards their past on the 360, and God bless them, it was just an indie game that kind of got big. But that was also a little cartoony and glitchy and blotchy. And then everyone goes, well, Microsoft just picked them up. Leave them alone. It's just Undead Labs. They're only 10 guys. Well, at one point or another, Naughty Dog lost like 100 people, and they still managed to put out, AKA a masterpiece. So, I mean, I
masterpiece that lost Game of the Year.
It did lose Game of the Year. But, that's my whole point. My whole point. And actually, you know what? Quantum Break was a good game. That was gritty. That was done very, very well.
Yeah, there's a good one. That's
a good example. Yeah. Shout out to somebody in the audience just said that. in the chat. I mean, there are a few, but the problem is that like, see, people know that Quantum Break wasn't sticking around. We were talking about, will Quantum Break have a sequel before it even came out? But anything Naughty Dog touches, like when The Last of Us came out, even though it did very well the first week, people were like, can't wait for Last of Us 2. People were already saying that. Nobody said, I can't wait for Quantum Break 2 on April 6, 2016. Nobody said that because they were like, this probably is dead. You know, so it's like, it just didn't have the longevity. And I think a lot of it goes back to the art direction of some of these great developers. And I'm wondering why Microsoft doesn't flex its muscles and just acquire one of these guys from Sony. Like, they could pick them up so easy, it's not even fun. These developers, you want to talk about their loyalty is in the depth of how much ink it is on a check. You know what I mean? That's fractions and fractions of a milli-inch, for God's sake. I mean, all Microsoft has to do is walk up to Naughty Dog and say, hey, by the way, we want to give you this much over Sony. And Naughty Dog all of a sudden is now living in Redmond. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to do.
Well, I mean, Sony owns them, so I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, they could do that. Even Dead Rising went back to a more cartoony look, away from the grittier stuff. So I guess I kind of agree with that. GKB, I've been watching your conversation in the chat. That has been phenomenal. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, you gotta put people in their place, man. They think they know things and they just really don't.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, you're a tech person, so I mean, like, that's
yeah. I'm only a network administrator for everything.
Yeah, so it's always funny to do that. We got Space Cat on deck. Let's go ahead and get that. Space Cat. Let's go ahead and get that voicemail in.
Hey, what's up, mooching crap? I was just wondering, when Microsoft VR comes out, do you think it'll be better than PlayStation VR? And do you think it will do better than what PlayStation VR has done so far? Okay. As well, I was thinking, what's your favorite new trailer at the Game Awards this year? Okay.
That's the greatest.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Like,
Okay.
Okay. Hey guys, what do you think of that?
Kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog on helium, but I think it's great.
My favorite thing at the awards, I actually like the Halo Wars thing, but I also like the Walking Dead season 3. I thought that looked pretty epic.
Yeah, mine was the Halo Wars too, man. Just
the Halo Wars thing was my
Atriox
favorite.
and what the story was going to be about was just phenomenal.
Which, by the way, Jez confirmed that he's going to be like a new main villain in the mainline Halo series as well. So they're kind of introducing him in that. And what was Space Cat's first question? I don't even know.
Oh my God, it was hard. I was just enjoying it. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
yes, please.
Again. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, mooching crap? I was just wondering, when Microsoft VR comes out, do you think it'll be better than PlayStation VR? And do you think it will do better than what PlayStation VR has done so far? Okay.
Okay.
At the Game Awards this year. Okay.
Okay. I think anything could be better than PlayStation VR, to be honest with you. So hopefully, I mean, what is your guys' thoughts on that? Okay.
I think at the end of the day, there's no really big games or anything going on to it. And VR at this point is really a fad and not really taking off at the point that PlayStation or anybody else really wanted it to. You see, like with the reports and stuff, that the sales are really low at expectations of. And it goes back to like what we say, you can't sell all this hardware and not have like the killer app, if you will, and not have any support for all this stuff. So
yeah, exactly. So I think that pretty much kind of sums up everything. Mooch, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm just still getting over Space Cat's voicemail.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's like I almost want to think that's like a joke calling, but it's totally not, and it makes it so much better. So Space Cat, please call in every week. You actually highlight my Sundays. No, I don't know. I think was it the whole PSVR? What was the Xbox part in the beginning? I want to hit the answer the first part.
Will the Xbox VR be better than PlayStation VR?
Listen, first of all, the Xbox VR is going to be made by company A, B, or C. I don't think Microsoft's even going to get into bed with it first and foremost. But I think anything's better than PSVR. PSVR is it's a fad. No one's talking about it. It's not on YouTube videos. No one's like, hey, tune in and watch me Twitch this game. Nobody cares. And listen, it took a long time for those 15 to 20 experiences to get developed, right? Crap. Now you're talking about how long will it take for the next set of experiences to come out? Another 12 months? Who's going to pay $600 to wait another 12 months? VR, as far as the console space, at this point, because everyone likes to run and tweet everybody like they're the media. At this point, I would say that it's pretty much dead. Now, can it get rebirthed? Absolutely. In a couple of years, after Scorpio's had a couple of months out on the market, talking into 2018. Yeah. But I think PSVR is a dead product. I think Microsoft's eventually, whatever Scorpio plays, will be better than PSVR. But myself personally, I think I speak for crap. I'm really just not into it at this point. Doesn't mean I won't try it, but I'm not going to be buying anybody's VR headset for over $500.
Like if PlayStation VR would have dropped to $250, like I think that's tryable, with the dildos and stuff like that. But without, I don't know. I'm not really on it. But we have a special voicemail from a man straight from PSX. You know him, you love him. Rack that call up, Jay Williams.
Oh, hi everybody, this is Yoshita calling. I am drunk off my ass because I am pissed off. We got our asses kicked by a damn tracer. Rains from above my ass. Bullshit. And I'm trying to sell my damn PS4s on eBay. I'll have to count those sales numbers as twice the PS4s sold. Anyway, I would like to make a challenge to someone because there was a mishap last week on MC Mornings. Apparently, you gave Sony the Tony Tiger Pony my damn code because I got home, I plugged it in, and guess what comes on the damn screen? Yeah, dear God, what the fuck? Is that some kind of sick joke or something? You guys just ruined my damn week. Get me damn beer, Sean Murray, stupid ass. Yoshida would like to challenge Sony the Tony Tiger former pony to a duel in Mortal Kombat where you will get your ass kicked. If Xbox ever puts arenas on, you and me, buddy, we're going toe to toe. I think that's about it. And I would like my free code, and that is all. Thank you for having me on your show, Boogie and Angry Joe. I love you too. You guys are my favorite fucking people. Give me a damn beer, Sean, and aspirin. Okay, bye.
Yo, I do love his call-ins, but more than that, I love the soundtrack.
Remember, you can't take anything they say seriously. It's just jokes. Jokes performed by YouTube professionals, and usually the joke's on them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, it is great to have the great Yoshida call in. I feel very privileged.
Yeah, see, I like that he's basically everywhere he goes, he's followed by like a Japanese orchestra. So that's probably a little known fact. Wherever he goes, you. Okay, and now we have a call. MNC Mornings, what's up? How you doing? ¿Cómo estás?
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you doing, bro?
Good morning. This is John, CatNar75 on Xbox. I'm from Sacramento, California. And good morning, Mooch, Win. I have two girls, so I can't say your real name. And who else? Graphics, Hammer, and GKB. Talked to all of you this morning. Not a voice, but caller just got the line asking about Scorpio. I have about the release date. I would want to go in more detail about if they give the release date and the pricing, and then do a premium product, maybe releasing a little bit earlier, a higher price than that. I don't know if that'd be a good thing, or maybe there's technical things with it, but that's my question, and good luck figuring out the code name for Win. Have a great day. You're my favorite show. First time caller to anything. Bye.
All right, so he wants to know about like a premium product, the price.
I guess I couldn't really make out what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that they have. Phil has commented multiple times. I think it's a premium product, as Scorpio will be, but he said it'll be a price that we're familiar with as gamers. And like a lot of the stuff is cheaper. Like Hellhammer was telling me, like the new Zen or whatever is actually like what is it, like just a little bit more expensive than like the Jaguar
Yeah,
stuff,
I mean,
right?
you're looking at a very minimal price cost if you're looking at what so far has been kind of leaked out or whatever. I mean, look, you have Zen CPUs that are coming out as us for consumers that we're going to be able to buy that outperforms or performs at the same level as last generation's Intel i7s for about 149.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you put that in perspective. The closest CPU you can buy off the bat that's close to the Xbox One or the PS4 just stock right now is still about $90. So you're playing with a little bit of a premium price of about $70 or so here or there, but not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Especially if you're buying them in mass, like what Microsoft is going to be doing.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I mean, like GKB, what is your thoughts on that? Like the premium stuff or whatever? Because you're gonna figure, but there's gonna be between $400 and $500. Let's just, I mean, that's
that's what we keep going back for. And I guess it's going to be more or less like, is the Scorpio going to come out with different SKUs, like different hard drive sizes, different, and that's going to be a factor. They might have one that's like $400 with like just bare bones, and then they might have like the ultimate one that'll probably be like, the first day, like we seen with the Xbox One S, like the 2 terabyte and all that kind of stuff. That's going to give you all the bells and whistles. So there's still questions out there, but I think between $400 and $500, and to Hellhammer's point, like you've seen AMD come out with their graphic card line now, the new stuff, it's so much cheaper than what it used to be.
Yeah.
And the CPUs are going to do the same thing. It's just, easier to produce these things now, getting them, cheaper and down in cost. So
yeah.
I mean, are we almost certain now that the Zen is definitely going in Scorpio? Is there still a question?
I don't think there's going to be a question about it.
Yeah, everything, and that's what I had heard originally too. And you can look back to some of my original videos. I get a lot of shit for it, but I had heard that to begin with, and people were trying to say, "Well, no, they're going to push that back." Remember Hellhammer? There was that rumor that people tried to start, and then now AMD is like, "Nope, Q1 2017, we're out with that." Like Phil could have come out with a Pro that was the PS4 Pro specs or a little bit better this year.
Yeah.
The wait was for the newer tech that's also more powerful but cheaper. So I think that's the whole idea.
Yeah,
behind
I mean, look, here's the problem, right? Like you got to know a little bit behind the PC market as well for some of this stuff, right? So like AMD is basically getting slaughtered as far as producing chips for at home for the CPU side. I mean, Intel is slaughtering them in that.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to come out with something as quick as possible to help go up against that. I mean, this has been going on for years.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got I've still got so many voicemails, so we're just gonna do a couple back to back. Right now we've got a good one on deck. Jay, you wanna rack that one up?
Yeah, we've got stick figure.
Stick figure.
Stick to the figure.
Stick figure.
Hey, Mooch and Crap, it's Stick Figure. Gears of War 4 this last weekend just had a crossplay with PC and versus multiplayer. Just wondering if you guys played it at all, what your thoughts were. And me personally, I just think that if they had dedicated lobbies that console gamers made the choice to join or not, to play with PC, their friends on PC or whatever, that would be okay. As long as you still had the standard console multiplayer lobbies to play, So basically you made the choice whether you played against PC or not. If you have a friend on PC, you can play with him or her. Anyway, just interested to see what you guys think.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Good.
Crap,
good
I know
question.
that's a good question. I know you can't stand.
I hate this, right? Like, and some people don't understand why. And here's why. I think that it's stupid. I think that the PC player count is down, and they're trying to figure out a way to make this fair. But the only way they're going to make it fair is by pissing off the people that play on PC now by saying, okay, you're forced to use a controller now. That's it, right? Like that's a way that they would have to do it. I don't like it. Like I didn't play it. I boycotted. I don't like. Who cares, right? But I boycotted Gears this weekend specifically for that. I don't know. I question that a lot. I don't want that on my games. And I know people go, well, it's an option. But here's the thing. If you have 100 players and then let's say 25 are stupid enough or don't care about their KD or don't care about getting slaughtered, decide to go that they don't mind playing against PC players, even if they get their asses kicked. That's 25 less players that I have to play against. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the division of the player base like that. I thought it was good the way it was. Like, if you wanted to co-op with PC, you could. If you wanted to do Horde, you could. So, you know what I mean? I think that, to me, it's a stupid thing. I wish they would cut it out.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that they have to. If it's done and it's just an option in the menu screen, to me personally, I don't care. The only thing that you made a good point. The only thing that stands in the way of my point is that if it takes away from the community and you lose a bunch of players going into that trying to compete with the PC guys, and all of a sudden the console membership drops. But that's like worrying you're going to win the lottery and you're not going to be able to tell your boss in time before you skeet out of town.
Yeah.
It's not really going to happen. You're not going to have console people lining up to go into the PC competitive world. If the option's there, crap, it'll be there, and I think it'll just fade with not being used.
I mean, having the option there is nice. Again, like Mooch said, I don't think it's that big of a deal if a couple people want to go over there and see, what it's like playing against people with that. Look, honestly, going up against somebody with a keyboard and mouse with a controller just as unfair as it is. I mean, you don't even have to talk about any of the technical side of that. Just the fact that a mouse is so much faster to aim with.
Right.
That's just right there. It's just it.
What about you, GKB? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm okay with it either way, honestly. I've gone on PC stuff playing with controllers and mouse and keyboard and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna get wrecked. It's fine. But if it's an option and they're not forcing it, I don't really see a big deal. I do see all your points, crap with maybe losing player base or whatever like that. But yeah. I don't really think it. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a console guy, you're gonna be a console guy. I don't think that's.
I think it's an okay option too as well, because if you really think about it, a lot of people are now starting to buy. And not even just that, just a lot of laptops and portable systems and that sort of thing are starting to come out that are capable of playing games just off the shelf. So, I mean, maybe you have somebody who has the cross-buy game and they're playing, from their hotel room or something, didn't bother to bring their Xbox. You want to play a few rounds of competitive with them. I mean, that's another option that they give people. So
I agree. Look, they just need to tread carefully, is my opinion. You know what I mean? This was kind of out of the blue. We're gonna test it, and we're gonna give you all this extra XP to test out our shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. So let's rack up another voicemail. What do we got, Jay?
We have Miss 1%, Luca.
Luca on the second floor.
On the second floor.
Absolutely.
Hey, Mooch, Crap, J-Dubs. Thanks for taking my call once again. It is so good to be able to talk to you guys. It really does make my week. I look forward to Sunday mornings, hearing you guys and hearing all the voices in the community. The Xbox community, I'm learning, is really open and welcoming, and I'm really glad that I'm a part of it now. Anyways, I just wanted to have a follow-up from my question from last week regarding Dark Souls. First of all, I want to say thanks all of you for your answers. I really appreciate hearing them. It was great getting different people's perspectives. For me, I've played all of the Souls games except for Demon Souls. I'm actually thinking of going back to play that later. I'm not sure when though. Anyways, I just want to say, Jay, Crap, I totally get it. Dark Souls, those games are not easy to get into. And Bloodborne was my first game. And after Bloodborne, I played Dark Souls 3. And Dark Souls 3, I don't know, it made me miserable. I just, for the beginning, maybe first 10 hours, I just could not get into it because I kept dying. It was too hard for me. But I don't know, I guess I was just too stubborn to stop because I was like, oh, I got through Bloodborne. I'm going to get through Dark Souls. And I was able to finish it. And I actually completed my second playthrough of the game a few months ago. And, I really do enjoy those games, and I think they're great. And Bloodborne's the best, in my opinion. The lore is just amazing, but those games in general, they're just really great. And I've immersed myself in that world ever since I started playing. Anyways, I just wanted to say, Mooch, if you do get on the Souls train, I know you're halfway through Dark Souls 3, play Bloodborne first, because since Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne are only a year apart, they're similar in certain ways, like the speed of the combat and things like that. So it may be easier to get into because Dark Souls 2 is completely different from Dark Souls 3, and it may be harder to adjust. So that's what I would recommend. Awesome, Luch. If you do get into Bloodborne, add me on PSN, and I can help you out. I have a character that is early level because one of my friends was going to start playing, and he got distracted by Nintendo stuff, so he just never started. So if you ever need any help with that game, I will definitely be there to help you out. Anyways, woo. Okay. Anyways, it was nice talking to you guys again. I will see you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Very cool.
Hey, Luke, I want to say something first that you can hear on air is that She-Wolf was actually looking for your Twitter. I think she was going to invite you on Ladies Night, the console corner thing, but nobody knows your Twitter. So yeah, if you could maybe give Jay your Twitter or pass on something, or if that's something you're interested in, then for sure, that'd be a good opportunity for you. And you're well spoken about games and things like that. So yeah, I think that would be cool.
No, I think she's also. I can also. What she just said is true, and the reason I know that is shout out to Scythe Effects, who I played Dark Souls 3 with. To be honest with you, he said the same thing she said. I have picked up Bloodborne. It has not been opened yet. It's still in the cellophane wrap. It's still wrapped up. It's definitely a gamer's game, is what I keep saying. And unfortunately, I got into Dark Souls right around the time of the end of August. And we all know what happened then. September kicked off with Recore, and the rest is history. So there's just been so much, but I do plan to go back. I'm probably going to do Dark Souls 3, then Bloodborne, to be honest with you, because I picked up Bloodborne for like $13, brand new at Best Buy. You just can't pass that up. Even if there are coasters that are more expensive, so you got to pick it up and try it. But I do think that if you're a gamer, you should definitely check out. GKB's got my back on this. Dark Souls is a fun game because the game is very much like the old school games. A lot of times, when we were younger, remember we used to go pick up a game and play it. You had no idea how to play the game. We just figured it out as kids, and they were easier in the 8 and 16-bit generation. But that frustration of dying and getting stronger and going to fight the boss at a different level and attacking the way that the map is laid out in a different way to everyone beats Dark Souls in a different method. Nobody has the same method. Same thing can be said almost for like Final Fantasy games. You sometimes have to spend 2, 3 hours, 4 hours going out there and just grinding and leveling up. Then you can go take on a boss. That kind of stuff, that's a very Japanese-ish kind of way of playing a game, and I think that's really interesting. So, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's better than any other type of game, but it's definitely different. And I think that once or twice a year when you're in the mood and you got a little bit of backlog time, that's the time to kind of get into a game like that and see if you can. And the challenge is also there. So, yeah, shout out to you, Luca, and I will reach out to you on PSN. I have many friends on PSN, but they're just listed as friends. I have to be very careful on PSN. It's like walking into a minefield. So just tweet me your PSN, and I'll make sure to add you.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, GKB.
To Luca's point, sorry about that. I think she got on board with Bloodborne and stuff there. So I think she has like a little bit of an attachment with the lore of that game, because from what she was saying there, and I don't know her personally or anything like that, but that was her first like Souls type game. So yeah, I think when you get onto a game, especially a Souls game, in that one, you're going to think like the lore and all that kind of stuff is, more involved and all that. But I come from like playing Souls for quite a while, and I think the lore in Souls games, like the traditional Souls games, are way more involved, and people just like eat that stuff up for sure. I don't know. I guess it's back and forth. Like, I prefer the Souls games over Bloodborne. I thought Bloodborne was a bit easier, but it looked really cool. I think it was awesome, and I think it was a good game. But I prefer Souls over Bloodborne.
Okay, well, good stuff. Yeah, we are officially running late. I know we didn't get to all the voicemails. We'll do the leftover ones next week as well. But we are. If you did call in, you're on the Wheel of Wonder. So J Dubs, how's that working out?
Just give me a second. I'll get it all up and running, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Crab said. So we went a half an hour over to try and make up for the half hour that I was late for. And I'll be honest with you. So everyone will be getting entered into the Wheel of Wonder. So if you gave a voicemail, your name is already on the wheel before the show even started. So don't feel like if you didn't hear your voicemail, we didn't. I don't even know if we would have got to 21 voicemails.
Yeah, you know,
it went from 11 to 1 because 2 hours is 2 hours, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, it went kind of hectic. Plus, you know, like thankfully GKB and Hellhammer were here to help out. We were just like,
guys.
Yeah, we were just like kind of just like, and it was, you know, I think the show so far has been really good. It won a really good show, and hopefully
a few people last week were asking if occasionally. I think occasionally it would be great to have a guest join us. Why not?
yeah.
You know, every once and again. The idea was the dynamic, as you can see, with a call in and the way Jay Williams has everything set up. I think even GKB and Hellhammer kind of felt it today. Once they ask me or you a question, to get to all four of us, we get to less calls.
Yeah.
So the idea is to kind of bang the ideas off of me and crap, and then also take voicemails, and we have contests to give away too. So my point being is I do think we should bring in GKB, Hellhammer. She will bring in a guest every couple of weeks and switch things up. But I do appreciate what you guys did in my half-hour absence.
But you definitely see how tough it is. Like when somebody asks a question, we go around, then we get a call, and it's like you got to go to the call.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little crunch to have a large panel.
And so this is for a year of Xbox Live. We're going to spin the wheel. Everybody has to mute their mic while Jay spins it. It's all you, Jay.
Okay, here we go. The Wheel of Wonder's ready to go. And here goes the spin.
We have a wiener. It's Space Cat.
546.
Okay. Hey, Woo, J-Grab.
That was great. Love it. Absolutely love Space Cat. Make sure you call him weekly. I can't get enough. Crap, we do. You know what, Jay? If I have a request next week, anyway, the Wheel of Wonder, we can play the Price is Right soundtrack while that's spinning.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the soundtrack didn't play this time. It has to do with all the technical difficulties we were having today, I think. So
no problem at all.
Yeah. Apparently, also real quick, Forza Horizon 3 is $20 disc and digital in the Microsoft Store right now. So if you haven't picked it up, $20, either digital download or disc.
That's amazing.
Best racing game available.
Yeah, that's amazing. $20. They're basically giving it to you.
Hell yeah! And Jay, are you gonna boot up the outro?
So I put it into studio mode for sure this time.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question before we go to studio mode, and everyone can hear me 3 or 4 times in one breath. Did we now? So that was the year of Xbox Live. Did we give away anything else today? Crap, I thought
we gave away a month code of EA Access. Next week we have the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Okay, got it.
More EA Access stuff like that. So
I apologize, I missed the early part today. Everybody, Mooch will be here 11 a.m. Eastern time next week for certain. So I appreciate that.
We have lots of Gears codes too.
Yeah, and we have lots of Gears codes. A lot of those are getting donated to Doc Cupcakes, his thing that he does for like the soldiers and stuff. So yeah, I think that's really cool as well. And yeah, thank GKB. Check out Console Corner with him, right, GKB?
Yeah, man. It was a total blast. I'm glad I could help out today. It was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, GKB.
Yeah, no problem.
And we got Hell Hammer. Thank you for stopping by and helping out.
Yeah, not a problem.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
You can't get enough of that.
Let's roll it, Jay.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. It was a great show.
Keep it Xbox. Don't freak out.